You know, they said, again, Tundra in front of the crowd. This is a good thing, because they get to learn. Like, there's still going to be a major, there's still going to be another tournament in Southeast Asia, so that means that, you know, they get to experience it pre-TI. And
we'll see what they are. I mean, they have seasoned veterans, you would think, at least with Zai and M.2, providing the stability on LAN, but it did not come to fruition in Stockholm.
I don't think for Liquid that it's so much about whether you're at LAN and you're not used to it, or you know that something is different. It's just literally, are they prepared? Because currently we're in an online you know, league going on here, and they're not really delivering that hot right now. So I think they just need to find their form, find stability in what they're performing, because their highest level is probably one of the highest in the entire Division 1. I would say much higher than even teams like we just saw Entity play. I actually don't think the best we've seen them play is probably not better than the best we've seen Liquid play in the last few months. But Liquid are looking a little bit shaky back and forth.
And we saw that you and I were looking right before we got here that Liquid also won the Gamers Without Borders tournament, and they beat Tundra in a 3-game series. So it's perfectly within their capability to make it a reality, but have they not been understanding the patch cost? What's the justification?
they have their very own understanding, like which heroes are strong. They've always been like that, I would say, where they have a couple of specific heroes that we already mentioned. I don't know, I feel like they still struggle from time to time back when they were Alliance, when they need to close out the games and it just doesn't look clean.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Liquid was also playing that carry Pudge the other time that we watched, and that flopped pretty hard, going like minute 60 plus late game against the Medusa. I remember it was pretty painful.
Honestly, I'm really impressed.
So obviously they're experimenting a little bit with the patch, but now is the time to really work hard to secure yourself going to a major. You don't want to miss out, and 3 losses already. It's looking rough.
They got the win versus Gaming Gladiators at least, right?
Liquid, they beat Gaming Gladiators, they beat Alliance 2-0, and they lost Goon Squad.
Yeah, but Gaming Gladiators also lost to Entity, so like previously we would have said Gaming Gladiators is like the team to beat in the big takedown, but now I would say this is the matchup that's the big takedown here. If Liquid beat Tundra, then they're in, you know, then they're in the running and feeling good.
I agree. Same thing with like how we just saw the previous series with Entity versus Secret. Once upon a time, Secret would have been the team, and now it's like, okay, that was kind of a foregone conclusion.
Yeah, that was just another team at that point.
Yeah.
So going into a draft, we already have it underway here. It looks like the ban out for the Lone Druid is coming out, some respect here by Tundra.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we see very traditional for the last few weeks here has been the Alchemist and Zeus, very high priority.
We see what Zeus can do.
Yeah,
Zeus has some serious amount of damage.
He's too slippery.
Yeah, very difficult to kill. I think the other one of my favorite heroes right now, definitely to watch, is Dawnbreaker. Very flexible, definitely a first pick material as well, because you can just, oh, it's going to be carry, it's going to be mid. You don't know where this hero is going to go. I think one of the few heroes right now that can be played at every single role.
Yeah, that's true. Also, we see Marcy is going through unbanned here, so potentially a hero that might see teams have been enjoying picking her in the first phase. Of course, there's no Marcy-Viper combination as Viper's banned out. That's otherwise a very strong lane.
Spotting the devil.
Indeed, Team Liquid are going to go with it, and Tundra have the choice for how to react to this.
Wagga, have you decided on your favorite role for Marcy, where you think that she's going to be most frequently played?
I think so, yeah, +4,
okay.
Like without a doubt.
I thought you were going to go greedy, knowing you from the pubs, you know.
I wish.
You were going to say
I wish.
one or two.
Okay, I will take a second to say I have mentally thrown Marcy under a bus. I'm done with her as a core player. For +1, +2, when they took away the ability to jump off enemies, that just means you need to play with your team. That's gross. That's gross, man. You go alone, you're just a sitting duck. So I think this is a support hero, +4 mainly. Pos 5, it's a little bit awkward unless you have a specific Pos 1 that can complement that. So yeah, for me, she shines on Pos 4 though.
Yeah, definitely. I keep changing my mind regarding the hero. I think the one right now that I have is... She's very good at rotating early on, like first 15 minutes of the game, especially first 10. Marcy looks extremely good
Sounds
every
like a
single game.
position thing?
Yeah, and then slightly falls off.
Okay.
And if you don't get to your like items, I mentioned it already a couple of times on panel, the two best Marcy performances I've seen were the one from Kataomi and the one from Jinkyu, because they kind of played the similar style. They're very greedy position 4s, and yeah, Jinkyu, he just like wants to be able to scale. He went for like BKB Basher, Blink type of a build. It takes time to build up, but then you're also using your ulti to actually like full extent.
So then when you're talking about completing your items, you want damage items as opposed to utility stuff like an EVO.
You just want to be able to sit in like in the middle of the fight instead of just going in using your 2 abilities and then dying because you have like lens.
I would also give a shout out to Ari, who played the Marcy earlier. Tiga was talking about how he grinded from 8k MMR, not Tiga, Ari though, grinded from 8k to 10k using only Marcy basically.
Yeah.
And he played his Marcy earlier today. It looked phenomenal. He had some amazing catches with a Blink Etherlens build. We'll see what it's going to be this game, but we do have Dawnbreaker as well. We get to enjoy both of these relatively new heroes in Dota.
And more heal coming out between Sidekick and Solar Guardian. I think that this has been the defining strategy, at least in the opening weeks of 7.31D.
Yeah, it's not just that too. I think some people are underestimating the impact of the buff to Luminosity crit. Like, you're healing a lot now just by those auto attacks.
But then again, I feel like you're inclined to consider Dawn a core as opposed to being like a 5 position that we're seeing.
More so, yeah. But we see her played. I don't enjoy her Pos 1 actually. I think she's a great 3.
Okay.
She's a great 3 and she's a great 2.
Yeah.
Because you get the solo levels from the mid lane where you just get that global presence, stun into like potentially a tower. Because you have like healing. It's very difficult. This is probably the best ability on level 6 that you can get, like the value you get from it, because it's a heal, it's a stun, and it's also like
teleport.
A setup, plus a setup for another stun.
Yeah, and I want to say that Dawnbreaker is a carry. She loses almost every carry matchup in a raw battle at some point.
Sure.
Like if you're against, we saw it against Morphling earlier today. Morph added a Skadi to his inventory, and like Dawnbreaker was just
didn't even buy it. She's like, yeah, I'm done. I can't play again.
yeah, just give up at that point. Leave the keyboard. Like you do not man fight into a lot of carry heroes. You just lose. So that if you pick carry Dawnbreaker, it has to be on a timing, and then you need a mid pushing hero, I think. But we'll see what's going to be in this game. Of course, the drafting Team Liquid is not super revealing yet, I want to say. Marcy and Dawnbreaker do have some flexibility. Meanwhile, Beastmaster, we kind of know what he's going to do. Weaver usually played on that support role, but...
we've seen a couple of carry Weavers lately.
It can carry, yeah.
Like, Weaver's not afraid of 2 of these heroes, and they are banning out Puck, Bloodseeker as well, so this could mean that it's a carry Weaver. I'm shifting towards just by seeing the bans.
Okay.
Yeah, very, very possible. And I like the synergy between Tundra's 2 heroes. You have the attack speed from Beastmaster, and then you got Weaver lowering the enemy's armor. You can lay in a lot of physical damage rather quickly.
I think the other hero to look out for Tundra is this Dazzle. They had a really great showing the other day against Team Secret, picked it twice. Very annoying hero to deal with. Like even in the previous series, we saw what Dazzle can do. Like just feels really good sitting in the back, casting your spells, especially when it comes down to late game, having this low cooldown on Grave, getting it multiple times in a row. Just very annoying, and Axe is not a hero right now, so...
I'll agree a little bit. I'll change my mind on Dazzle slightly as the shard was buffed to be full 2 seconds duration now.
Also
but
true.
Overall, my take on Dazzle is it's budget Winter Wyvern. But Winter Wyvern is banned out now, so that opens up that position to be filled in, you know.
And I mean, it leans more into theoretical minus armor strats, seeing as how a Razor gets picked up, what Weaver bugs,
Yeah.
and Dazzle minus armor on that.
It's starting to stack up, and even these tanky heroes, the 2 strength heroes of Marcy and Dawnbreaker, they will melt when the minus armor gets going.
And Tundra last ban out a Sniper, so some heroes that make life hard for a carry Weaver, but then A sniper band seems a little...
Yeah, this is more likely going to be position 4 Weaver right now.
Okay.
Beastmaster is not played at any other roles than position 3. It's very difficult to flex the hero. So Razor also does not like to play the mid lane because the lane's not long enough. So most likely going to be Razor on the safe lane.
Yeah, most likely. I think Sniper was a smart ban just because Sniper has a tremendous amount of armor. He also enjoys buying all these Wraith bands. And when your team is this much Minds armor, you don't want to run into that.
Monkey King.
Wow, all 4 of these heroes have some sort of heal mechanic on Liquid.
Yeah, they do. Also incredible
Did you say
flex
3
mechanics.
or 4?
All 4.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. No, I thought you said 3, so I wanted to add, be smart and add something else.
You can be smart, predict the 5th hero that might have a heal mechanic on top
He's
of it.
going to have a heal, the 5th hero.
All right, I like
Pulling
it.
right now.
Omni,
of
let's
course.
go.
Yeah. I'm down with Omni in this draft. That looks high pace.
Yeah, Oracle picked up an Insania signature, and he was not able to play it at all during the C patch, but he's been relishing the opportunity in the D patch, and Monkey King.
Not too many stuns on Team Liquid.
No,
Like,
they're...
who's gonna start the fight? Like, we're talking about the mid-game fights in the laning stage, you know, pre-15 minute, Marcy can do it, but they need someone to just make a play. Not much lockdown. I think both spirits come into play, Ember and Void Spirit for Team Liquid, because Tundra doesn't have lockdown. They have like 1 stun, which is not reliable. Like the spirits can easily play around it, so I expect both of them to be banned out.
Yeah, I would say both teams are really low on lockdown. Just Beastmaster is, you know, not really sufficient. Tundra needs something that has continuous low cooldown control. And Team Liquid, at least they have very long-range stuns and random stuff they can chain stun with. If Monkey is on a tree, he can lead, and then Marcy follows up. Suddenly you have Dawnbreaker jumping in with the ulti. They can definitely burst anyone who shows. The problem is Relocate could save.
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah. Vision game from Tundra is always super strong. They know how to abuse vision, whether we're talking about position 4, Monkey King, Beastmaster, Lycan, anything with a Visage, whatever. Now having Beastmaster and IO, and also Weaver to be able to like provide vision with the bugs. In terms of setting things up for Relocate, vision is the key. I also want to see them
10 seconds remaining.
like have something to play with, like some kind of a playmaking mid.
5 seconds.
Yeah, because they have a lot of vision, but I don't know really who takes advantage of it other than a Relocate. You see the Oracle, who's closing the gap to kill the Oracle right now?
Yeah. Also think about all this healing on the side of Liquid, and do you want to address it? Is there some plan? Like, do you want a natural Skadi buyer or something in your team to deal with it? Is it Razor gonna pick up a Skadi in the like early mid to late game?
Yeah, value from Vessel is going to be insane. Probably Weaver's
Yeah.
going to buy it. Like you can also, if you want to have a better timing, get it from the mid lane. But
You
then
are
again,
against
there
an
is
Oracle,
a dispel.
though, yeah.
Yes,
True.
you still want to get the item.
Okay.
There's one more dispel too. There's the Marcy
Marcy
ulti.
dispel.
Big.
Yeah, I was for a second I was like maybe it'll be a boxy Monkey King, but I guess against a Razor, Marcy is not really enthusiastic against as being the core hero.
Wait a second, there's still Visage in the pool, right?
There is still Visage in the pool.
Looks like it's still there. Yeah.
How many heal mechanics are there?
We have 5.
We have
There
5.
we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the build is online.
Nerf ourselves, will you? They're sticking it to Ice Frog.
They are.
Yeah, they don't need these elves.
Or perhaps this is Ice Frog's grand conception. He's like, this is the draft that I had in mind when I nerfed selves.
All right, the patch has peaked. We're now gonna have the next major patch drop after this match.
Fingers crossed.
They have an issue. Like they don't have that backline jumper yet. As you said, like they can see the Oracle, they can see Keeper of the Light, but
Can't
who's
get
gonna
in there.
jump them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tundra's draft looks tough to solve in one pick. I'm trying to think what's the perfect fit for them. Like,
I like Void Spirit.
Void Spirit,
just
yeah.
because he provides silence eventually with the Axe compared to the Ember Spirit.
Yeah, maybe. I was thinking that, like, they even banned out one of the heroes that could have been nice. The Puck could have been a nice
Oh
fit.
yeah, for sure.
But that was, like, long ago they removed. Yeah, I'm on board with Void Spirit.
How about 9 o'clock again? Let's go.
I think also Pango is the one that can get in the
Oh, yeah.
backlines.
Actually, the clock would be annoying because you can get tossed around by Marcy. Like hookshot, he just yeets you out of your cogs.
That's true.
And there's a few annoying things. The blinding light can do the same thing. So there's a lot of long range control from Liquid.
Okay.
All right,
I gotta see who's playing what here.
exciting.
Faceless Void.
So is this
9 faceless void.
They needed someone to close the gap, and it's gonna be mid-faceless void.
He can lane against Caudle if it's, you know, core Caudle mid, but yeah, this is off script here. This is very off script.
A lot of improv going on. Yeah, I mean, I guess they're figuring out where to.
But they don't even.
They don't even have that much
They don't have anything
damage
to dump
inside
into the
Try
Caudle.
Caudle, offlane Caudle.
Yeah. This could be reaction because they picked Void very early. I think they shouldn't have picked their heroes because now Liquid
Mid Marcy for Dawn.
Yeah, I think they showed too many cards.
What
there.
is even happening with Dota these days? Like, I think we're on the patch where it's like extremely difficult to guess where the heroes are gonna go and what the teams are gonna pick. Because there's still like we had the D patch that didn't change that much when you go through the patch notes.
Say that.
You say that exactly, but like, what the hell is this?
They're trying to put us out of a job, Lacoste. They're trying to make us look dumb. They're like, oh,
they don't need to do that. I already look dumb.
It's impossible. You see a hero, you're like, yeah, this is flex.
Oh, obviously it's gonna be this role.
It's the flex pick, you know. Oh, Puck could be anything.
Okay, so with the adaptations, Waga, are you still gonna lean Tundra, or you think
this on me?
I have to. That's your job.
Damn it.
You can go with I don't know, and I think
I will accept an I don't know.
Everyone will accept
liquid.
it.
I'm liquid with this.
I'm all about the heal strats. 5 heroes with the healing.
So much healing.
Okay.
They can't die.
Zai J's in the chat if you think it's gonna go the way of Liquid. But for the casters, I got Sunspan and T-Gov.
Wow, that was
That was pretty. I mean, everyone in chat now was like, "Where's Synderen?
You know what?
Where's Synderen? Where's Synderen?
You know
Where's
what?
Synderen? I'm sorry he's not here, guys. I'm
You know,
sorry."
something Synderen wouldn't do is cook barbecue for everybody here.
That's true. I did spend the last 2.5 hours cooking barbecue for the camera guys, production.
That's right.
I smell a barbecue. I feel like I am now barbecue.
I didn't eat any of it though. I'm sorry. I will later.
You could
I
lie to
promise.
them. Just tell them that you ate it. Why are you lying?
First of all, I don't know why you
Why are
would take
telling
a
the truth?
shower when you smell like barbecue. That's a good thing.
All right,
to smell like barbecue.
For some reason in the studio, there is like one random shower, but it has no like heat knob. All right, it's just cold or extra cold. And I only had fairy up liquid, so I literally just took a cold shower, fairy
That's
up
good.
liquid.
It woke you up for this amazing best of 3 Tundra versus Liquid. Of course, Tundra are completely undefeated in this DPC season, 3-0 in terms of their series. Liquid not too far behind T-Gov in 2-1, so still top 4 overall. As a lot of teams are struggling this time around in this EU region that we don't usually see getting wrecked. But we'll talk about that a little later because these heroes are very interesting. 9 is playing the Faceless Void. We see the mid Marcy as the panel is kind of flabbergasted. What are your general thoughts on these two respective lineups?
I mean, there's not an innate farming mechanism for Void, so 9 playing it is a little bit weird. He has actually played 1 pub game of Void already.
Oh, that's enough. Yeah.
But it wasn't mid, it was carry. So he's played like 1 carry game and gone, you know what, boys? Let me play it mid. In fairness, though, this is like one of the few games where it actually looks not too bad, because he's going up against a mid Marcy. He's against multiple melee cores. He's got a Beastmaster. Like, it's kind of like easy mode for a Void. It's like, you don't need this mid hero to be some explosive hero, because the rest of the draft is super clean.
Right. See Soxa getting pressured here a bit on this Weaver, but with Shikuchi away, but the balance strike is there after the sentry is placed. Looks like he'll live eventually. As he's getting chased, though. Shikuchi not up for another 6 seconds. This was nerfed not too long ago, and you can see how big a difference it makes. As
It's up in 1.
Soxa gets off the Shikuchi, pops the Fairy Fire as well. One more right click will do it, and First Blood goes the way of Boxy on a very tough hero, which is that Weaver.
A rare moment, both supports having to use their TPs as well. Oof.
Let me ask you this, though. Like, if you're going to pick a Faceless Void, obviously 9 plays mid generally, but in a game like this, why wouldn't you switch it up with just using him as position 1 and having Razor mid?
That's a good question. I think maybe you could argue that the options of mid, if it's Dawn or Marcy, would probably do okay against a mid Razor. They both have a movement mechanic, so they can get away from it. And also it's Tundra. They like to a little bit quirky. Razor's a bit too boring. Skitter's way too good at it.
Well, the last couple weeks of Dota have been kind of crazy in terms of picks, which I don't think a lot of people were expecting with the patch not being as huge as a lot were expecting or wanting to.
Because like
wanting it to be at least.
The patch wasn't too big, so the players are forcing like a fake patch upon themselves,
Yes, that sounds likely.
They're like finding new excuses. Oh yeah, Void got a 1% change on nothing. Viable now, gotta play it.
Yeah. Well, talk to me about Marcy, because the games that I've seen, it's been mostly support, and it has I mean, Dispose has been really the key spell, but as a mid Marcy, how different does this hero get played?
I feel like you need to treat a mid Marcy as if it's like a void spirit in the mid lane. You're going to be pushing out your lane, you have kill potential if a hero comes to your lane, and if anyone's close to your tower, she's going to TP in, you know, rebound off that hero, and then quickly find the kills. Itemization-wise, Phase, BKB, Basher, not the same as a void spirit. And very much you jump the backline and you just cause people to be at least half HP.
Okay. In terms of itemization, what are you expecting anything crazy?
No, unfortunately not. I think Marcy's been around long enough now that they know that the core build is pretty much just BKB Basher. I wouldn't be opposed to seeing a new variation on that, but unfortunately it's a bit too good. Maybe Mickey's got a different read on the hero.
Yeah, I'm just glad we're getting two heroes that are typically banned a decent amount, Marcy especially, but Dawnbreaker as well, the two newest heroes. Not named Primal Beast, of course, is 9. We've seen this a couple times. Dispose into Time Walk. A very interactive combo between the two players.
If either of these mid laners die, it would be incredibly shocking.
Yeah, what about the gank ability for these position 4s?
The 4s? I thought about the mid lanes for a second.
Oh, you can talk about that too. Like, how susceptible would they be to ganks, especially like a hero like Marcy?
Both teams are kind of weak in regards to their rotations, just because of the damage that they have once they get there, right? Like, ganking the Void lane, it's not you're like, wow, look at the damage. You need the damage to come to the Void, right? So I feel like for Tundra, it's more about Beastmaster having a good lane, that level 6 Void TP up, or maybe the Razor coming, and you fight through just numbers. Whilst on Liquid, their damage comes from like the Oracle and the Dawn joining up together, and any lane they go to, they have enough control to unlock the Monkey, the Marcy, or the Coddle to do the damage. So I kind of picked Liquid to be a little bit better in the fight. Come on, go on.
Illuminate hits, Hammer, but Fairy Fire keeps Snaking alive. Looks like it'll be enough to survive throughout this onslaught. Skeeter chasing the rest of Liquid away, so Snaking lives. In this top lane, we can see M.2 playing the Monkey King, leading the CS in terms of for both respective carries right now. 21-1, not many denies, but pressuring in terms of right clicks.
Sorry to interrupt you there, but if you look
He didn't enter, I stopped talking.
Perfect. Oh god, I feel like I'm cindering now for a second. I just had a brief little flashback. Whew. 21 for 12 on the Marcy, compared to the 13-0 for the Void.
Yep, that is true.
What's your thoughts on that one?
Oh, am I the analyst now? That's interesting. I mean, it is a faceless Void mid, so I can't say I was expecting too much. I mean, talk to me about like just the hero in general. You said that he doesn't farm well, right?
No.
This is a hero that needs items to farm. Because typically you just have him kind of rot away in the safe lane for a long time.
He has to soak up a lane for so long. That's why
it's not going to be an active hero.
Not really, unless he goes for some like dilation and like time walk play. But he's already gone for a 1-1-3 build.
Yeah.
So very much like Tundra, they need the Razor and the Beastmaster to come online for the Void to kind of follow in their footsteps and be like, yeah, I'm here too, guys. Don't worry. It's not like he's farming the small camp and killing mid.
Zoxley gets taken out for the second time this game. Liquid with the slight lead in terms of net worth, but you can see, at the very least, they do have the highest CSer for Skeeter, 28-7, so he's dominating this lane pretty well.
Yeah, it's a product of having the Keeper Light. Naturally, it's a hero that just always pushes in. You have Illuminate, you hit a couple creeps down. Is he going to kill him too?
Nine mid, Unleash is popped by Mickey, and the hammer is there from the side in Boxy. So they do secure the kill onto the mid-faceless Void. In case you're just joining us, that is not me having a stroke. That is a real thing. Apparently.
You're okay.
Yeah.
The sad thing is,
Gank
Tundra's going to have to put him into the safe lane to recover his game.
Wish they could have done to begin. I mean, to be fair though, Razor's having a really good game. But then again, I feel like Razor against melee heroes generally is good. But you don't think it was that good against Marcy? Like, what can Marcy do? Dispose, but you're still in link range probably.
It's rough. Like, yeah, I don't know. Tundra's a creative team. You could argue that the Void into the Keeper of Light would do really well because the Void always has Time Walk available to the Illuminate, so you'd never actually get pressured. The Razor would still free farm. So in regards to farm disparity, yes, Void in the safe lane Razor mid would have probably netted them better farm overall.
There's got to be something.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's
this is
thing,
a
right?
post-series interview question in the making.
It honestly feels like if you're Tundra drafting this, 9's like, yeah, whatever, I'll play it. It's all right, boys, because Skidder wants to play the Razor. Tank it for the team.
And Soxa getting chased again. Shikuchi not up for 3 seconds, and it's not even going to be close. Boundless Strike is there for M.2. And yet another, that's the 3rd death for Soxa in this game, as Liquid off to a pretty good start for kills, at the very least. Snaking getting chased off. He's going to link up with Skeeter, though. But Starbreaker is enough for Boxy to take him out in turn. Skeeter gets a very juicy duration static link, but sadly for him, won't be able to turn it into much.
Yeah, and this is one of those safe lanes where the Razor, if you ever do get a static link off, it's never going to be on the Coddle. The Coddle, what has he got, like 442 move speed? He's zooming away. You can never keep on top of him. And now it gets non-stop pressure. It's hard to play this lane.
Hammer's coming, Boxy facing a bit as the TP is coming from Snaking. Just going to get pushed back a bit by Zai.
Yeah, Boxy respecting the fact that Zai didn't have any follow-up damage, so didn't want to use a Starbreaker and commit on the tower and then maybe bait himself into dying to the IOTP. But yeah, the net worth right now, Monkey complete free farm, Marcy and Coddle also doing so. Potentially a difficult entry to this game.
Another thing the panel mentioned is the lack of chrono synergy. It's really Axes, Swarm, I mean there's Plasma, it's not like some Wombo combo setup for the Void.
Yeah, I think you have to look at this Void differently than a regular game of Void. It's more going to be this time walk with a shard style Void, jumping in and out of the fight, playing behind that aggression of Beast and Razor. Sure, Io goes down once again.
Does he?
Might be able to do a little juke.
Does it? Yeah, this
It
goes
does.
back. Looks like it is dead.
Farewell,
Pops
it.
into Oblivion. And mid lane, some action onto the Oracle, but Nine's gonna have to time walk away thanks to these TPs from Liquid. Come here in mass. And you can see Mickey doing so much damage to Nine. He has no time lapse. Oh my goodness. The time walk was not up.
It's a level 1 time walk. It takes an eternity for him to do it. It's 24 seconds. Of course, if you max it, it gets down to 6, but yeah. Whew. Yeah, not the best start.
It's making Marcy mid look good.
Come on.
I don't know if it's a Faceless Void thing or a Marcy thing, but we'll give them the benefit of the
Yeah,
doubt.
like a 21-second cooldown, 19-second cooldown,
Yeah.
18-second cooldown. Yeah, that's a rough one.
Wasn't even close. I mean, he technically could have tried to chrono and run, but doesn't really feel good.
You don't want to use your first chrono like that.
Yeah.
Again, to be clear, Tundra, they're going to be utilizing this Void around the Beastmaster getting, let's say, the Home of the Overlord, the Razor of a BKB, and then it'll just be Void running in first, tanking up some spells, maybe forcing an Oracle out, throwing down a zoning sphere. That will then unlock the Eye with the Razor to rip through the backlines, the Weaver to get in on top. So, yeah. This Void will do probably the least amount of damage out of the cores for best part of this game. If it goes later, sure, he might buy some items, but...
Okay. We'll see how that works out for Tundra as Soxa again getting chased.
Oh, and Zai's up here
Get rooted
too.
for now. M.2 still in the vicinity as Insania cleans them up from the other side. So another death for Soxa and another kill for Liquid. We're up to an 8-0 start. Net worth is 2K, which is pretty substantial for this point of the game, but I wouldn't say this is quite a shellac. I mean, it is 0 kills, but I think with these stacks, this is where it gets really bad if they're able to get this off.
This has to make it, look, the mid Void's also getting the Midas. He understands the game's pretty atrocious.
Yeah,
Oh, God.
that's a little rough.
But to be fair, like, for Liquid, they've played an incredible entry to the game. Like Insane in top lane, he had this double sentry setup, so he was always able to see the Weaver moving in and out. That allowed Satsuko to get picked off a couple of times. And on top of that, you have Zai rushing the Boots of Travel, not going for the earned vessel build that some players do, going bots after. Like, they've identified that they've won the laning phase, they can pressure further, and now Zai is making sure he's always able to kind of throw himself in. When you have heroes like Marcy, Dawn, Monkey, they're going to easily set up on the side lanes. An extra little bit of damage, that's when you run them over. I wouldn't be surprised if they found a couple more kills now, just whenever Zai wants to TP in and find the fight.
Yeah, and you can see from Tundra's perspective, Skeeter is going for first item BKB, as you already talked about, 9 going for the Midas. So, I mean, that's for catch-up, but then you're forcing a BKB out of Skeeter to be able to kind of hold them off until he can actually get some farm on the Void, I would assume. Which, we'll see if that works, but off to a rough start so far, obviously. As 33 is going to take out a very juicy Ancient stack.
He's happy with this one.
Radiant's middle tower is
Can
under
we get a stat of damage done, please? Is that possible? Just want to check up on the Void.
Why would you do this? Oh, he's not last.
He's doing pretty
Yeah,
well.
actually pretty
He's doing good.
All right.
Not as good as the Oracle, unfortunately, but Oracle's a very big damage
Yes,
dealer.
this is true. As we're going to see the Unleash come from Mickey again with the disposed setup. Solar Guardian is coming.
Oh,
And
no,
actually, it's on top of the IO relocate. That's a dead IO right off the bat, and Skeeter looks to be next. What an absolute disaster for Tundra. Triple kill for Insania of all the heroes to get that. As Soxa is going to be spotted from the tree line. Will this be yet another death for him? He actually goes into the north.
The dust had hit, but they're not going to chase it.
Here's the first chrono of the game.
Bash,
Nine
bash.
really needs to get this kill onto the Coddle.
Oh, the
Side
bash.
does go down thanks to the bash.
Finally.
Time walk to safety. And it looks like he will survive. That was the first kill for Tundra. So they'll take it, I guess, but that was a rough triangle fight. You're going to see Wukong's command forcing 33 out. Matut trying to TP away, will be successful.
Can we get an update on the damage done, please?
All right.
All right, look at that Void. Now the mid Void, best on his team.
Yeah, that is surprising when there's a Razor in the game, I'm not going to lie.
All right, thank you very much, production.
The fact that Soxa has done the most damage on his team is actually insane.
The
Is that just
Sakuchi
Swarm?
spam, yeah.
Goodness. A lot of pressure on this tier 1 tower, but Liquid. Quite the start here. They have come to play, no doubt.
Jokes aside, though, very important kill on the Void. On the Coddle, the Void jumping in, getting that solo kill. It completed his Midas. He's now, slowly getting towards BKB. So it might look quite funny, but yeah, getting even one kill. At the start of game that he had, I would have been surprised if he failed every chrono for the next 5-10 minutes if Liquid was in position. But he found that one opportunity to get that kill.
But that Solar Guardian timing on the IR,
that was
I don't even know if that was 100% on purpose, but that was disgusting. That was really cool.
Caster, play-by-play, and color, and analyst, and whatever.
Yeah.
Perfectly timed Dawnbreaker ultimate. Yep.
Well played. Give them the benefit
played.
of the doubt every time, even when
time.
you know it's not on purpose. Although that one could have been.
That was 50.
Either way, that was.
That is the beauty of Dota, though. Like the amount of times when you see a sick play, and then you're like, oh, whoopsie.
Yeah. Like I can't even see the IOs on top of the particle effect.
If we rewind it for a second, you can clearly see a bit more. Yeah. A little bit more, tad more.
There.
Back into this fight.
Yep. Great.
That's what I meant.
Thanks, P-Gov. We appreciate that as the mid-faceless Void has died.
How's this more important than the highlight?
As we can see the relocate, Snake King going back into his own death thanks to the dispose.
What I was trying to ascertain from that rewind was clearly the door note was pre-reload, it felt like. But anyways.
Okay.
Void going down mid, but this is the point in the game where the kill score, 13 for 1, looks very healthy. Only the 2K lead. That's because Tundra has done a pretty decent job after it. Yeah, so... Oh, the relocate start... Okay, my bad. Relocate start, Dawnbreaker ult after. So it's actually just really nicely timed from the Dawnbreaker syncing up with the reload. So we'll give a lot of credit to the Dawn.
Well done.
Well done.
So is this more of an experience lead than gold? Because like you said, 2K isn't crazy, but 13-1 looks very much in favor of Liquid.
XP-wise, Void's up top, to be surprised. He bought the Midas, he got the solo kill.
Right, okay.
Helped accelerate him.
That's true. Midas will definitely help with the XP, as it is 48 seconds slower than average.
Yo,
but considering his start...
I feel like every time you say something about Void, I'm just going to say, but he's a mid-Void. That's my contribution to this conversation.
All right, Soxa, what death is that now? Let's see. That's number 5 for him.
This Oracle is going to be fat. If you ever kill him, 5 kill streak, he's going to be worth a pretty penny. And he needs to make sure he's got good positioning in these upcoming fights. But yeah, Liquid, they need to kind of sweep across the map now, find the fights. Don't allow for this Midas Void, the BKB rushing Razor to get to those items, and then be able to kind of put a little bit of rebuttal into that Liquid fight. This is the best window in the game to find these pickoffs, especially you got 4 vessel charges on Zai. Like, sweep across the map, find the kills.
Yeah, that is quite a bit. Or 9, I should say, on that Faceless Void. The mid-Faceless Void, that is. Switching it up. He's not going to BKB yet.
No, yeah, I just saw that, actually, yeah.
So going for a little bit more DPS. We'll see how that works out for him. I mean, the fact that they're only 3K behind is actually pretty impressive. I'm not going to lie. Now it's down to 2K thanks to this tier 1 tower in the top lane.
It also helps that this IO Razor is able to soak up more of the jungle. The Void's playing a little bit more aggressive in the lanes. Sure, the Void has died a couple times doing it, but you are kind of distributing the farm quite evenly. And the key thing is, in these type of games, Tundra's doing an exceptional job at just pushing out some of these more basic waves, not allowing Liquid opportunities to smoke behind that wave and find the fight.
Right.
But you see here, they're chasing this Void. They might kill him, they might not, but the time bought on the rest of the map is...
Time Walk is up. Chrono as well. Time Walk to the other side. He's going to be greeted by more members of Liquid. Might have to use that Chrono to get away. Never mind. He's fine.
they don't have enough continued stuns. If the Dawn or the Marcy's not there,
Speaking of Marcy, she is a pig.
bit rude.
Meant that as a compliment, of course, because pig pull is a great neutral item.
One of the best in the game, to be fair, yeah.
Like, if you're playing this game, do you think the players would be right on the estimation of the net worth difference? Like, honestly, I feel like they would not in this game.
Probably not. I think... Actually, no, to be fair, I think you can assume that in this game, just because you know that with Beastmaster farming with summons, and how well Tundra pushing out the lanes. Like if Liquid could see the creeps naturally hitting the towers, then they can feel a net worth lead. But because the creeps are always on their side of the river, you know that they're utilizing the jungle and the late game just a little bit better than Liquid right now. But I think you honestly could sense that it's quite a close game. And that's why Dota is one of the best MOBAs, because kills don't actually reflect the overall
one of the best
of the game.
There's like 3 MOBAs. One of the best.
Yes. Sorry, the best. Do you want me to clarify?
There you go.
The best.
Yes, of course.
I said one of the best because I was giving, you know, Smite some ground.
Oh boy, not Smite. Well, you can't put Heroes of Newerth in that category anymore. Sad.
F.
RIP. Yeah. Of course, it's been ripped for quite a while. Let's be real. As Maelstrom now online for 9, so we'll see that farm
Dire's top tower
amplify just a little bit. We'll be going for the BKB next, so that's no big surprise. But on the other side, and we talk about the supports, Insania's obviously had a really good game, but Boxy on the Dawnbreaker getting close to an Aghanim Scepter.
It's going to be so good. Like, especially against all the physical damage that Tundra relies on. There isn't a single form of magical damage that they can hope to get kills with. Sure, like the Raze and maybe a Bash or a Maelstrom proc, but realistically, it's that right click, the static link,
right.
the Void, the Beastmaster.
The fact that Solar Guardian, I believe it works this way, right? You do it on top of a Chrono, and you don't get stunned until you move on top of the Chrono, right?
So if Dawn's one of those best heroes where you see the Chrono, you just pop your ult, you hold it, you have the 6% evasion, the extra heal, you're kind of laughing at Void, you know.
So this is going to potentially force out like an MKB onto 9.
Or a disengage after you see it.
Okay.
I honestly, I'd argue at this point with Dawnbreakers, we've seen so many games of it now where teams, when you see that Dawn ult, you have to respect it, step back a bit, then look for the fight. And if you're Tundra, I think you're really happy to trade Chrono for Dawn ult throughout this game, because you already have the Beastmaster Raw, just the general positioning of Tundra being able to jump to the backlines through just running in with their movement speed. I wouldn't be surprised if you started seeing some more of these poking Chronos.
Yeah, that's true. Tundra does have a very mobile lineup in terms of disengage.
Very in your face, and Liquid doesn't really have team fight themselves to rely on. They have Wukong, sure, but in regards to stuns to keep them inside Wukongs, it's a root, it's a Marcy dispose, and then whatever Dawn or Monkey provides. So yeah, both teams struggling a little bit in kind of area fight outside of Chrono and Raw, pretty much.
And we'll you have the mech online for Snake King, who is relocating to try to save Skeeter, and he does so successfully. Of course, it might cost him his life, as they are grouping up around that relocate spot. Insania probably posturing to get the kill again to increase his kill streak. See if he takes it. Nope, this time walks away. You can tell he wanted it, though. As M.2 now.
And the speed in which they TP on the map now. They find the kill top, instantly mass TPing to mid lane.
Yeah, that forces out the 33 Primal Roar. It will save his life, and away he goes. M.2 has the Deso Echo Saber combo going for the Basher next. And actually, Skeeter pops the BKB in that little engagement. That's is that the 10th second? Yes, he's gonna take the full Unleash combo from Mickey, who knows that BKB is down, so it just ends up soloing him.
Yeah, that was his 9-second BKB that he just kind of wasted a little bit there. And but look at the net worth. We mentioned that it was like 2-3k lead to Liquid. Slowly came back to Tundra because Liquid fully itemized for the fight in the moment. They aren't buying these Battle Furies, Midases. They're keeping themselves...
It's 16-1 and it's even.
Yeah.
Right now.
It's because the 16 kills that they've got, they've invested into just mid-game fight, right? Just look at this Monkey King. Perfect example. Reminiscent of pretty much like the Miracle Monkey King that we've seen in Division 2. It's this Echo Saber Desolator. You look for a lot of fights, you get that first Roshan, and you just run over your opponent through just pure numbers and just better effectiveness of the gold that you have.
And they know that Roshan's being attempted here. M.2 gonna get off that Wukong's command. And here comes the Jumping from 9, trying to take out Roche. He will do so and take the Aegis. Time walks to safety as well. Looks like he has the shard. They will take out the first life though. Either way, even if he dies here, that is super worth. Starbreaker perfectly timed into the dispose. Double kill for Mikke, who took out Io in turn as well. 18-1 advantage. It is still even.
Nope,
And
Tundra
Tundra
has the
takes
lead.
the Aegis and the Roche. That's true. They have the technical lead.
They have
right
the technical
now.
lead, yeah.
What? God damn, am I watching?
And to be clear, he didn't snipe the Aegis. He simply he
killed
and
Roche.
took.
That was beautiful.
That was banging.
M.2 chasing 33. Skeeter on the outskirts now.
Dire's turret has been
You asked why they picked mid void. That's it right there.
I still don't know why. Sure. They knew that they could steal the Roche and Aegis.
You gotta feel bad for Liquid though. The way that they set themselves up for that as well, like preemptively using the Wukongs, trying to cover the area. But unfortunately, Void, one of the heroes that you chrono, I think the clutch thing here is the tether into overcharge, gives him the extra damage, really closing the blinding, like getting him outside the pit.
Yeah.
If it pushed him out, Aegis is Liquid's. If he doesn't overcharge in the IO, probably still Aegis to Liquid. So those
Perfect
small
time.
things that allowed him to get that.
Yeah, very nicely played from 9, who obviously has the Maelstrom. Still working on the BKB as the tier 2 tower now, taking a lot of damage via Liquid.
Shouldn't change the game though for Liquid, realistically. You don't get the Aegis, whatever. Keep, making these plays. I already mentioned the itemization. If you look at every single hero in Liquid, it's about active items that want to find fights, that want to get kills.
I'm trying to think of a time where I watched the game where a team was down 1 to 18 and was leading. I don't know if I've ever seen this before.
All right,
I feel like maybe I have, but I don't remember it. Which doesn't mean anything because I'm an old man. So either way, this is crazy, crazy game.
Yeah, I'm doing my community service right now, casting with you, that's for sure.
I mean, can you think of a time where something like this has happened?
No,
I feel like this is a bug that we're not reading the right net worth.
No, they have. I mean, I feel like there's a game. The other. Okay, let's be clear. I don't think it's been like this drastic.
Yeah.
1 to 18. I've seen games where it's like 20 to 30, 20 to 35.
That's not even remotely the same. 1 to 18.
Okay, all right.
Disposed. Oh my God.
Oh God, he's so
he gets
dead.
deleted. And that is death number, is that 5? Yeah, he's 1 and 5 now on the mid-faceless Void, and they're leading the game.
Can we get an update on the damage done, please?
Dire's top tower
You think he's
is
up
under
there?
attack.
I mean, yeah.
He is
Look at
actually
him.
leading his team.
Oh. I got baited for a second. The big 10K number was like,
Yeah.
damn, what was that?
That's
Oh,
Vulcan.
okay, no. We don't want that. We
Which is
don't
still
want that.
surprising. I figured
There
Skeeter
we go.
would still be leading in both those categories, but not to be.
But this, to be clear, this damage is a reflection of the lineup that you have right now. Liquid, this is their big window to fight as you see them doing it right now.
Saxa, Shakuching to safety.
Dire's
like he's
structures
fine.
are fortified.
As Tundra, again, undefeated in terms of series at this DPC season. Liquid have lost 1 series.
Radiant's bottom
This is
tower
a very important one for both teams. And Tundra down 1 to 19, but still in a very good spot, apparently. Snaking will drop. M.2 starting to get pretty scary, though. I mean, you guys can't see this because obviously I'm using a laptop as well, but I have that particle effect that shows when you're doing well. The entire Liquid team has fire particles right now. All 5 of their heroes. Nobody on Tundra has that, okay? I don't know why that cosmetic was put in for that reason, but regardless.
This is one of those games where if Liquid was to win in it's like 2 minutes, the only death was Zai in the mid lane to the mid lane Void getting a free cheap kill. you know?
Oh, Skeeter's going to be
Skeeter, no.
spotted. M.2 with the ult and the backup with his team. He's going to pop BKB on Skin and then dies like a second after. Yet Tundra only down 1K. I'm just going to say this every time there's a kill.
It's just the efficiency of Tundra, the way in which they play the map, they find the farm. Like, they're not using any smokes, they're not looking to find kills, they're not forcing their supports to suicide for these random kills. They're all farming evenly, they're kind of kiting around Liquid, they contested the Roshan. Like, Tundra are doing the basics of this difficult game exceptionally well. And if you're Liquid, you probably feel really uncomfortable right now because you don't want to chase too deep into Tundra's side in the fear of the Raw, the Chrono, the BKBs, because you don't have BKBs yourself right now. And if you die, that's when Tundra will just fully occupy the entire map, using the vision of Beastmaster to set up a relocate. So it's kind of like Liquid, they've itemized the fight, they really want the Aegis, so now they're kind of biding their time waiting. And really interesting to see.
The first thing that pops in my head is we're going to have to maybe hold that thought is Insania might be the second kill of the game for Tundra, but no, the Solar Guardian and the False Promise are there to save his life. So instead, Liquid going to turn this around. Looks like there's a nice Chronosphere on the other side, though. 9, they're going to take out M.2. That is a huge kill for Tundra. Snaking still staying alive. The relocate will be successful, but the Faceless Void dies. But at what cost? Liquid have lost 2 already. Hammer's there from Boxy. Looks like they're cleaning up pretty nicely on the Tundra. The other way around, 2 dead, make it 3 for Tundra. So it's a 3 for 3 so far. Finally, Io dies, and the last remaining member, Soxa, who has died endless amount of times this game, will be the only one to survive.
Will Insania die to the Dragon?
Yeah, the Dragon doing a lot. Insania is healing up to a high degree, though, and Zion Company should be able to take this Dragon in turn. So 25-4. They've quadrupled their kills. That's a good start for Tundra, as they're now down 2K.
But this is the perfect example of why Liquid weren't really chasing for the fight outside their Aegis. It was, sure, they win it eventually, but the fear of the Monkey King being out of position, the Chrono, we see the highlight here. They put themselves in this position where Oracle has to ulti himself. Realistically, this Oracle ult wants to be on a core. The Dawnbreak ult needs to be on a core. But because Oracle is one getting picked off, it opens up Tundra to have an advantageous fight. Sure, it eventually goes down. And the reason that, Zai at the top of your screen. At the entire time, free casting like he's a Zeus, fully uncontested. Multiple Illuminates sweeping through the fight, hitting 2-3 people at a time.
Yep, dispose into instant deletion again onto 9.
Every time we go into a highlight, Void dies.
Yes, I've noticed that too. 4K lead for Liquid, creating a little bit of space now, and obviously the Unleash quite good at pushing towers.
And this is the point where Liquid's draft feels really good. BKBs are on cooldown. Of course, they're like 90 seconds now. No chrono. You're not scared of anything. You need to go. You need to make sure that you punish that top engagement.
M.2 starting to go to town on this barracks with no Void for 40 seconds. Looks like Tundra going to have to concede this one.
And he's still got Wukongs if he needs it. He got picked off in that previous fight. So yeah, Tundra, if they only found maybe one more kill in that top engagement, this wouldn't have been happening, and Liquid would have felt so much worse, but instantly capitalizing on some big cooldowns there.
Yeah, now that Scotty is online for M.2, he is looking very freaking scary, although there is a refresher now. It is slower than the average by 23 entire seconds for Skeeter, but this is one of the most powerful refresher carries in the game.
It's one of the few carries that still actively buys refreshers, like second, third item. If anything, I feel like Razor was the reason why people wanted to see BKB or refresher nerfed. We got to see at least the BKB nerf, so it hits everyone. I feel maybe in the future we'll have some different interactions between refresher BKBs or the charges that you get, but yeah, one of the best heroes in the game for it.
Tundra apparently...
Oh, Boxy wants some recommendations on air conditioning. So if anyone in chat has some good ideas, please paste them. Don't paste links though, you'll get banned.
True. I think Americans are the best with AC. Everybody seems to hate America because everything has AC.
Are you projecting here?
Yes. Everywhere I go in Europe, there's no AC.
It's because we don't have, I mean, I say we, I'm British, we're not part of Europe anymore.
That's true. Yeah, sorry about that.
I don't even own AC, and I'm not part of Europe. What is my life?
26-4, and it's not that far out of reach for Tundra. I still kind of believe, I'm not going to lie. But the Faceless Void has looked pretty weird. 2-7 for 9 thus far. Of course, he's just starting to get online. Has the Maelstrom BKB that we've seen, so it's really not until the next item that I feel like we're going to start seeing impact from him. Other than like the Chrono set. I mean, the Chrono, the top lane was really good, but...
No, we're not going to ever see impact from him.
You don't think so, ever?
Look at his quick buy.
Well, okay, to be fair, he changed his quick buy like 5 times during this pause.
Okay, thank God. Oh God, I'm so worried.
Right now, it's a Bloodstone.
That's what I mean.
And I don't think that's going to happen.
You think the Bloodstones are the spell lifesteal on the bashes he's not getting? Is that going to help him?
Yeah, don't think so. Don't think that's the play.
Or, actually, to be fair, his power play is he's going to jump in, use the Bloodstone to be tankier, so then he can then still jump back. Like, it's the tanky
Oh my God, they're going to take out Skeeter, does Liquid. That's a pretty big kill, and Snake King also used the relocate, so
yep.
Looks like he will drop. In addition, as the lead for Liquid is now getting to a point where it's a little bit more appropriate for the score. Snake King. Did he actually buy the Shadow Amulet?
Did buy the amulet, yeah.
Oh my God, they don't have that.
Right, Wait. Insania cam. Insania's coming in with the gem from the right-hand side. Please hold.
All right. Do they think he's still there? I don't think so.
They actually just don't
Radiant's
care.
top tower
Yeah, they're like, ah, whatever.
That's Insania, south of the IO with gem, but doesn't want to go look. All right, how long does he stay here for?
That's a good question.
He has TP.
Yeah, he's fine.
Yo,
Gonna try to cut the wave now, apparently.
he's maybe just going to tether back or TP.
Did he forget where he was? All right, now decides
He was just lowering his music, you know.
Very good. Zoxa,
Very
he's
nice
the
play,
one.
though. Gotta
cutting the
respect that.
waves. Yeah, for sure. And we haven't really seen a team fight since that top engagement. It's been more pickoff related for Liquid.
Yeah, Liquid looking for pickoffs, looking to get this next Roshan. It will be a little bit difficult in the back of their minds. You have to remember that there's Hawk Vision, there's Chrono to snipe it.
Oh, and the smoke from Tundra, so they are aware.
But the vision
can take
around this pit. Liquid have 2 wards, north and south of the pit. They're instantly killing off the Hawks as well.
Oh,
They've not seen it
there's
yet.
the Hawk inside.
Insania's too far away with the gem to actually check it.
Yeah, but the scan comes out, so Liquid are aware. Although they're not aware that Tundra's coming from the side instead. We'll see if they're able to get the jump. Looks like there's enough separation, and the reset looks to be successful as M.2 is going to be spotted. With that Hawk coming through.
Yep.
Purifying Flames is there. They have enough spam to take these out relatively quickly. We can see the Hawk still in the pit, showing that Roche is at half HP.
The difficult thing with this smoke is Tundra didn't have an observer ward when they made this play, so they're relying only on Hawk Vision.
Radiant are scanning.
And now Liquid, they're just running into the darkness, hoping to find someone.
Oh, 9. Oh, he's not quite spotted in the trees. Gets the time walk off, though. So Tundra are aware, and both teams just wrapping around each other in 360-degree motion.
And now Tundra in the pit.
Yeah. Although
I don't think
it'll be tough. They're gonna smoke
another
up
smoke.
again.
Bring around the roses.
Triceratops is dead. Mickey looking to go back into the pit, but here we go. The static link, but instant sheep being shown by Zai. BKB bopped by Skeeter is gonna use that refresher, but there's a Chronosphere onto 2. Again, the Solar Guarding with the evasion. 9 not able to do too much. But Mickey's being the forced target right now. Can they get him in time? 9 able to time walk back. Looks like he's going to be a respectable amount of HP. Only 1 has died so far for Liquid, as I do find the faceless foe. He buys back into the game instantly. Insania again has to false promise himself. And finally, Skeeter does drop, so that's a huge kill for Liquid. And with the buyback onto Tundra, see if they can continue this or not. The Sheep onto the Beastmaster, 33 going to get completely surrounded. He's all alone. This looks to be another kill for Liquid, which might open up Roche. Knowing that that Chronosphere is down, there's not going to be much hope for Tundra to get it unless they get some cheeky time walk into reverse time walk steals.
I mean, he did buy back, but unfortunately, he's not really ready.
Man, his inventory looks quite sad.
All right, let's move the camera away from him. Let's look at Zai's inventory. Zai's inventory looks really good. The Hex, the Lotus, the Vessel carrying the gem.
Good.
But yeah, unfortunately for Tundra, even though they use multiple smokes to try and get themselves in a good position, even when they hit the good spells, they just didn't have the damage at the end of the day, right? We look at this highlight. You got Razor linking onto Marcy. Gold goes down to half HP. It looks like a big Chrono, but doesn't clip the Oracle. Dawn ult on top, really no damage. Sure, Insane, I think, ults himself at the tail end of this fight, but yeah, it's so hard to get anything in. They Weaver, your IO, they're kind of enablers. And Tundra, now they're feeling it. If you ask what the net worth was, the teams could probably give you an accurate representation.
Yes,
the
now
net
they
worth reflects the kills.
Yes. So Aegis now online for M.2. I believe the Shard was picked up by the Dawnbreaker for Boxy, so we'll get that magic immunity during Starbreaker.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And you know it's a difficult game because Insania, he's been ulting himself like 2-3 fights in a row. You've not had to see Tundra initiate on a core to who then get saved by Dawn and Oracle. In that previous fight, again, it was like Dawn saving the Marcy temporarily, whilst Oracle saved himself. Like, you've still not seen Liquid in full force of their fight. Very difficult for Tundra. They need to keep skipping the waves and just annoy Liquid as best as they can. But even though they're Rex down in bottom, it's really difficult to do. They don't really have like, innate wave clearance.
Soxa showing off the Gleipnir as the instant release from the Solar Guardian to get out of dodge for Boxy.
They actually do have decent wave clear now. If Weaver can like just cut behind Liquid's lineup and then Beastmaster have creeps, like they can to some degree do it. It's just not as quick as alternative options.
Yeah. And now the mid void is showing.
Showing what?
Well, showing what's the best way to put it without flaming? Showing why everybody on the panel was dumbfounded by why it's mid.
I see.
It's starting to make sense now. But if he had, I mean, they stayed in the game for a long time.
They're not out of it yet.
They're not.
What's
I mean,
this like
it's
concluding conversation we're having here?
let's wrap up this game.
Okay, Liquid. Enough.
It's not quite to that territory yet, but I think the next fight might be the end if Liquid are able to take it.
Like, Insania just drew on the minimap a very clear definition of what they want to do. He just drew a line outside the tier 3s, like, guys, they need to be in their base. We need to push top, we need to push mid, and then we need to sweep into their bottom jungle. Like, Liquid right now, they have Aegis. They've been waiting for an Aegis for so long. They've been waiting for an opportunity to take the fight. And now this is their moment. They pushed in top, Coddle's going to push in mid, and yeah, the actions are pretty much unfolding as expected from the minimap drawing. And now Tundra, they're on the great retreat. They don't really want to take a fight in the open area. They've been struggling even when they have the initiation and the vision.
33 did show briefly. The rest of Tundra not in vision anymore. 33 just hiding in the tree line. Scan was already used by Liquid, so they're going to have to run into him the old-fashioned way, which they do. Instant Hex. And not quite an instant death, but 33 dies nonetheless. Soxa, again, just cutting the waves, doing all he can to try to extend this game.
But just like, if you want to understand what to do when you're behind, just look at what Tundra's doing. Sure, Beastmaster got picked off, but look at how quickly Razor then ran to mid. Void goes to top. And on the other side, look at how Liquid, when they're in the lead, they get a pick off bottom, and the speed in which they then TP to find pickoffs. They're trying to punish the way in which Tundra's keeping themselves in the game. And they actually do get a catch.
Yep, Skeeter getting chased. See, Insania has blinked in there as well as Matu and company surrounding, but there's the relocate. Question is, does Tundra want to try to defend? It's without a Beastmaster. Might just have to sacrifice the IO again. Unless he has the Shadow Amulet ready to go. But there's a sentry. Not in vision, though. All right, gets disposed back into the right clicks. 16K lead for Liquid, and the Aegis only up for another minute and 20 seconds.
I just love the speed in which Liquid's playing around the map. Finding the pickoffs, getting the TPs, running across. The Hex from Zai just really just picking them apart. All right, they get a stun on the Monkey King.
Yeah, that's a good start. Matu at half HP is going to get false bronze relatively early. As a Cronus here on the back line, 9 focusing them, but there's the Solar Guardian again. Has to force his BKB and Stania. Looks like he's going to live throughout all of this, and already the Razor has died. So 9 just left to his own devices, getting completely surrounded and brought down into oblivion. That's 3 dead for Tundra with a dieback from Snake King. GGs are called. So Liquid do take game 1. I can't say that was convincing, though, considering the kills that they had, but not the net worth until maybe 30 minutes into the game, it felt like.
Am I allowed to be Cinder and just disagree?
Yeah, of course.
I think that was pretty convincing, just because even though the kills...
Cinder never actually disagrees with me, by the way.
Oh, I'm really sorry.
Just
Okay, I've got a lot to learn. That's fine now. But no, but like the way that Liquid had the lead, I think if they didn't lose that Aegis, different story. They would probably command the game, make the exact same plays because they have the confidence of Aegis, and they'd be barreling down the map. Because of a very sick snipe from the Void, it opened up for a bit more of a farm game from Tundra. And then on the flip side for Liquid, this was a refreshing game where they itemized for the timings of everyone, and they didn't have one hero who was like behind. They were always ready for it. So I think this was a really good game for Liquid to at least turn the tides on how they've been performing so far in the DPC. They've had some issues with syncing everything up like they have before.
So the thing, we're going to go to commercial in just a second, but I just have to say one quick thing. I remember a tweet. This is the thing I was thinking about the whole game.
Ooh, okay.
From Crit.
Yep.
Did you see this tweet where he compared his game where he had like 15 assists, 1 death, his farm versus a Rubik that went 0-5 and had 50 last hit creeps, and the Rubik was more farmed.
Yep.
This felt like that game.
I mean, that
tweet,
probably Crit just forgot to pick up every bounty rune maybe as well.
That's also possible. We'll have to look into that replay in the future, which is something we definitely won't do. But we'll go to a quick break and get back with game number 2.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
educate people.
Game number 2 of Tundra. Whoa. Oh, okay. Never mind.
Hello.
I thought we were
Hello.
gonna, like, show off the logos and all that stuff. I guess.
Go again. Do it again.
Game number 2, Liquid versus Tundra. Liquid threatening to throw the European power balance in upside down mode. I mean, Secret there at the bottom, and we gave Liquid, it was like they lost against Goon Squad. Now they might be beating Tundra Lacoste.
Yeah. First game, good showing, definitely. I want to see what they have prepared for game number 2. If we're gonna see something similar, there's still Dawnbreaker available. Like, if we saw these picks like 2 weeks ago, I'd argue that, you know, this is not happening. You have Monkey, Lone Druid, Alk, and Zeus. It's like, oh, someone didn't read the patch notes correctly.
Yeah, it's like, did they disconnect because it auto-picked, you know? Yeah, no, it's changed. The last 2 weeks, it's been evolving, and Zeus has really been the big standout for me, shining with how good he is at just, you know, slipping away from every single skirmish and always stays at a safe distance. Even seen some big impact from the cast slow on the jump. It's so annoying.
All right, here we go. This is you know, potentially an off lane if they want to run position 4. Tiny Viper hero that was the most contested a couple of days ago in European DPC West. Looks like he almost never loses the lane. Like, he's very annoying to play against, having this like region trade where you're always gonna lose, and also having Tiny pick, you kind of shut down the Puck pick from the mid lane, because it works really well against Puck.
Downside about Viper though is that he is what we define as like win lane, lose game, and that's how it's been going earlier today as well. He's been struggling a bit, but teams don't want to give away the
Wait, you guys win lanes with it?
You guys are winning lanes.
Don't max W in jungle? But they deny the Marcy Viper here. Last game, it was banned in the first phase, so it wasn't possible. Now they're going to snag it instead before Tundra get to pick their second hero. They take the Beastmaster and Marcy. Pretty good combination. They again have nice BKB piercing in the Roar. Also, Marcy ulti can DPS very well against Magic Community. And we'll see how Liquid are going to play this Viper, if he can avoid this sort of inevitable feeling of becoming useless progressively throughout the game. That's what I feel when I'm Viper. I'm like, oh god, I'm so strong. And then 10 minutes later, you're
then
like,
you die 2 times. You're like, how am I so far behind? No, something about this hero. Yeah, you got a good point, where it always feels like you're doing good early game, and then like a couple of fights, and it's like, okay, this is it. I'd say pretty similar to Marcy's support, where Viper like feels extremely strong 10-15 minutes and then starts to fall off. Mid Marcy looked really good. The Basher first item, like, it's kind of guaranteed bash, so very annoying to play against, and you get the core items relatively quickly. My problem with the hero is still like, how do you farm as a core?
I think the issue is that the last game she didn't have to farm against something difficult. It was just a Faceless Void who had 0 denies at like minute 8 or something. Yeah. And Marcy was just
She farmed heroes.
Yeah, so she had a good start and then she farmed heroes. If you're lane against something competitive in the mid lane that actually contests you, shoves lane a lot and controls runes, it can become much more difficult, I think.
Bro, they farmed heroes, though. They had like 16 kill advantage.
Oh, yeah.
Still like a 1k net worth difference. Farming heroes means nothing, it seems.
Yeah, that's true. It's only when they finally got the squeeze on them later down the road.
And I am still curious about the Viper Phase 1. So you're saying it's popular in Western Europe, but I thought that now that it's, I don't know, not auto-win for the entire game, you mainly justify it by, I have a break, at least, against something situational, but they saw it against a Marcy, nothing break-worthy there, and then...
No, it's just super, like, this is the way that you kind of know you're gonna win, so coming with that info gives you, like, also a bit of an upper hand, because you know that the carry-to-carry matchup, your carry might not have as hard time as the other enemy. Carry hero, you might hit the certain timings earlier, and we can see Team Liquid already preparing for that, banning out Abba and Juggernaut, so these two heroes do have sustain. You have a Dispel mechanic in the lane against Viper, something that he might struggle against. Like, the other one could potentially be Enchantress, even though you can stack it up on her. Having the heal could be a little bit annoying against Viper early on.
Yeah, I mean, this is something we've seen. It's a bit of a mentality of trying to win 2 lanes, right? Dota, for a very long time, has had this mentality, underlying concept of if we win 2 lanes, we should be able to snowball into a better mid game and take advantage. And if Viper is almost an auto 1 lane, then you just need to set yourself up that you have 1 more good lane, and then the ability to take towers, and you should be ahead, take towers, and get map control. The concept is pretty simple, and then you can execute it with many different things, but Viper is a very key component in just easily getting to this. However, I would say Beastmaster, even if he doesn't win lane, you just rotate down there to his lane when he's like level 7. He has the helm of a Dominator, and you just take tower. It's gone. Doesn't matter if he won the lane or not. He will take the tower so easily.
I don't remember last time I've seen Beastmaster like not take tower between like 10 and 12 minutes. This hero just excels at this. Also very versatile in terms of what you can play the lane, whether we're talking about the axes or you want to go for boar, depending on the matchup. I didn't like Beastmaster before when it was like, oh, max boar, get the aura, always buy the helm, and that's it. Kind of locked in, was pretty boring playstyle, but now it's a bit different.
It's a bit open, and the axes are preferred in a lot of scenarios just to have that, you know, harassment along with the flash farming. Yeah, I think it was boring when Wild Axes just became an irrelevant skill, and you waited until you had to skill it almost.
Well, it was also boring whenever Wild Axe was the only skill with his early Scepter last year, and you just cast Wild Axes.
Oh, you mean the Roche just as Aghanims is
yes, that's the one. Beastmaster has had some interesting iterations over the years.
I like how Team Liquid now in this game have banned out currently, I would say, 4 heroes that are sort of heal heroes. If you count Alchemist as a healer himself, then you know they're
take one for themselves.
Wyvern,
the dragons.
Wyvern against Beastmaster just feels amazing. Same against Marcy. Marcy will murder her teammates without shedding a tear.
Damage still goes through because it's magical, right? Even on the Wyvern heal.
On the pulse.
On the pulse, yes.
Yeah. But the attacks, no.
5 seconds remaining.
And now Tundra, I guess, figuring out where to channel this strength into. Do they go for more push strats and lean in with this Beastmaster, or do they need to start pivoting to magic damage now that this Wyvern's on the field?
They're just thinking how to squeeze in a Midas Void into it.
I wouldn't mind seeing Invoker. I think it's a good Invoker game. Good matchup against Tiny on a mid lane. If this is a mid Tiny, they can still shift it to position 4. Good way to like split the fight against Wyvern, be able to just burn Tiny's mana in the lane, makes his life very miserable. Like, you're kind of taking away the whole point of playing the hero from the mid lane.
I wish we would see more either Lina or Leshrac. I think both those heroes are.
You think
really
Lina's
strong.
good right now?
Oh yeah.
Oh wow. Okay.
With the plus 3 second duration on the
It's
Fire
a lot.
Sword, it is wild. It lasts forever.
Yeah.
I've tried playing it, and it is really good for your laning stage. And later on, it's just quality of life. And look at the heroes that Tundra have. You have Marcy to set up, you have Beastmaster to set up, CK. All of these heroes can stun first, and Lina can follow up on it. And even against something like Winter Wyvern and Cold Embrace, this to me looks like an amazing Lina game.
Radiant team pick.
There you go, Phoenix. 4 strength heroes on the side of Tundra right now.
Looking juicy for Timber, huh?
My saw
Action.
my saw is spinning. Let's go.
I guess with the Phoenix, they do add some magic.
Some healing.
Yeah, and some healing as well.
This is what we saw a week ago when I was up here in Division 2. Ivy picked 4 strength heroes, and they did not think about it. And then they had to play against Mega Creeps because they got owned by Timber.
Oh, that was the game?
Yes.
No, not the game they won. That was the game after. They had 2 Mega Creep games in a row.
So it was the second one. Okay.
Yeah, the second game they won against Timber, they lost because it was unfortunate. Well, Sniper makes an appearance. He's been banned a lot today in the second phase.
Yeah, I think every single game today.
Almost every game.
At least the because I was coming here, so didn't watch it as much in Division 2. But in Division 1, yeah, all 3 games, even in the previous game, he was banned. So 4 out of 5 games.
Yeah. No, he's been banned a lot, but Sniper has become, you know, a strong hero now. People have started understanding how to use the take aim build and really get value damage out of this hero. And he needs good frontliners, which, you know, Tiny, Viper can frontline fairly well, not single-handedly, but with some allies. And Sniper's amazing against Phoenix. You know, he cooks up that Phoenix ulti very fast.
10 seconds remaining.
I don't think they heard it.
No, they haven't. You can explain what just happened.
We heard the drums.
If you heard some drums, that was not the pick phase drums. That was the empty stomach of Suns fans drums. How about the sniper versus CK carry to carry matchup? I can't say I'm too familiar with it.
It's not a super convenient one. There are some upsides, as the shard is super good against the illusions. You can disarm, and you can reposition yourself, but Sniper is not very good against CK, since once he gets blink, he can get on top of you and kill you really fast. On the other hand, though, the Wyvern is there to, you know, try and counter out the CK, so it's not that CK is unaddressed in this game.
Because CK players, they don't like split the illusions. It's not your, you know, playing Phantom Lance or whatever. It's like group up, and it's always going to be a good target for Wyvern. You also want to blow up heroes immediately, so that's going to be always a setup for Curse. Sniper, if they're the ones getting the initiation on a CK, that's going to be so much better. But if he's getting jumped, you know, there is Wyvern, there's potential toss back and Curse to be able to save him up.
I think it's a good fit, though. Against Phoenix, you want something more ranged that can shoot. And now they have 3 ranged heroes. 2 of them have extremely long range.
Yeah.
So between the Arctic Burn and the Take Aim,
they're a bit squishy. Like their front line on side of Team Liquid is kind of meh.
But on the other hand, Tundra are almost too tanky, you know, like they're adding all these strength heroes, but...
too tanky, not too smart. Like how do we get to backline? We don't know, we have too much strength.
Smork just running.
Me have strength, me no haven't.
Yeah, exactly. They're taking the brute force approach here to the game.
And all things considered, they still didn't ban out the Timber Cell, so they're not really concerned if that happens to come out final phase.
Yeah, they're banning out one more strength hero. They're like, don't let them get 5. You ban the Clockwork. That's really funny to see, actually.
And I guess this will also decide where Marcy is going, because I mean, 9, I would not be surprised at all if he was feeling inspired after that last game. He was like, okay, you want a Marcy mid? How about I Marcy mid?
Of course, 9 is one of the most versatile mid players in playing unorthodox stuff in Western Europe. He has pioneered a lot of things among the Caudal mid, for instance.
Pudge mid it is. Here we go, boys. 5 strength.
Radiant team pick.
Picking Agi Pango.
Yeah, that's gonna be his Pango instead. So he's gonna be the one Agi to lead the bunch of Pepegas Mercs.
And I guess now Liquid need to decide what's best to go up against a mid Pango.
I mean, Curse is good, by the way, against Pango as well. Winter's Curse is not a bad tool.
Like, even having Sniper to be able to deal damage, like, you use Viper Strike on him while he's rolling, and a couple of right clicks from Sniper if he doesn't get the shield crash off. It feels really good. They go with the Ember Spirit, so to have something against the Pangolier, other than Tiny, because they can't really stop him. We're talking about like pre-roll, where you have chains into some kind of a stun setup coming out from Tiny.
Not just that, but you also have Ember against, like, not the best catch, honestly. Yeah, you have Roar, but that's not super fast against Ember Sleight of Fist. You also have Marcy, you have CK. None of those are super instantaneous. It's not like a Rubik telekinesis. And it will be difficult to get a grip on Mickey. Mickey is one of, like, the most mechanically skilled Embers. Yeah, he's crazy. So I would look for the mid lane here, see who can shine more between Mickey and 9. Obviously, both of them have comfort heroes here, so they get to show off on what they're good at.
I like the Sniper. Sniper has been on the rise. They do have like gap close, but he also does like itemize, like you mentioned the shard, and also having the pike and a lot more difficult. They have some ways of protecting him, and then again you have this Ember Spirit that is super elusive. I like what they got. I want to look at the Viper Tiny lane to see how that's going to go, because this should be the lane that they do really well in. just to have like this like tiny, very mana dependent, consumes ton of mana early on with the Mangoes and Clarities. Same goes for Viper. So I want to see how that one goes, if they can sustain through this like heavy magical damage coming on from these two heroes.
For me, it's pretty much all about if Mickey gets off to a good start here, but I think Liquid got this game overall. I'm a fan of what they're doing, so I'm thinking a 2-0 here.
Do you want to share your current win rate statistic on predictions?
Well, I'm currently 100% today.
Okay.
I predicted last game as a win, and the first series we had where I was on panel.
And you were conveniently quiet during the second series, not
I was
giving
casting.
Any,
I was
sure,
anything but quiet.
Oh, okay. You can't give predictions at the beginning? Fine. Well, let's see if our cast...
Nobody asked.
Nobody asked?
Yeah.
I'll ask. Next time, at least. Let's give it over to our casters. It's T-Gov and Sunsfan!
Thank you, Tsunami. That felt more appropriate. Next time, if there is a game 3, please do the reverse where my name is very subtle and soft and pathetic, and T-Gov is the only one at a high volume. Hello, T-Gov. Hi. I just realized that you trimmed your beard heavily.
I made a big mistake.
I don't know why that didn't ever enter my mind until this minute.
I was going to talk to you about it when I first saw you, but you were one of the few people complimenting me about it, and I just had an impulse and removed
what have you done?
What
have you done?
I fucked up.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say it.
I don't want to say anything.
I got ID for the
Your
first
beard
time in
was
4 years.
I mean, we have to have somebody that at least competes with Tsunami.
I know,
Some level
I know.
Beard department, but
I'm gonna grow it out. Hopefully, if I get to work TI, of course. You never know.
yes.
I will have I'm not gonna shave until then. Not gonna shave until I work another TI, basically.
All right, that's great to hear. So this is game number 2. Liquid versus Tundra. Liquid have the 1-0 lead thus far. Yeah, that is a Chaos Bolt and completely surrounding him. Boxy gets up a nice avalanche, but the body block come for 33. First blood to Snake King. Maybe not the exact person you wanted that on, but Tundra will take the first blood nonetheless. And obviously, more kills than they had in the first 15 minutes of last game. So,
Weak, yeah.
better start for Tundra, who, again, they've lost some absolutely
just down
owning
direct.
9. Tries to get off the Rolling Thunder. In fact, does so, but dies immediately afterwards. So 30 seconds of no Pango for Tundra, so they're going to have to retreat and potentially give up this tier 1 tower.
This is a rough position to be in if you're Tundra. You have this Beastmaster, you have the Helmet Dominator, but you've never been able to hit this tier 1 tower at minute 15. So his economy is built around these early towers. He's bottom of the cores, tied with the Viper, but he's not able to play his own game. And you can't really bring the Beast into a fight, because then it's just going to be a Shrapnel or Winter Wyvern with a Curse. But yeah, Tundra really playing with a man down right now until he gets online. It's a tough spot to be in.
I mean, at this early stage of the game, 1 Searing Arrows is like a death on Pango. he needs his shard or something to counteract that, or like I said, a Lotus at some point. But we'll see how he itemizes. Looks like Blink is going to be next for 9. Boxy obviously working on his as well. That's 33 getting chased by Mickey. There's reinforcement in terms of the Winter Wyvern. 33 looks to be an easy kill.
But look how
Stania again.
it's really good stuff. But look at the map split right now. Boxy's playing top lane. Sure, he might die to a bit of aggression, but he's been able to farm up an extra 300-400 gold from being up here.
All right, the Dispose back onto the other side. Snake King trying to finish him off, but it's not going to be enough. So Snake King has to dive away. And Tundra, they're going to lose stocks though, thanks to that Shrapnel. I'm not sure if that was on purpose, but the Dispose out of range of CK, obviously the reinforcements via the mass TP from Liquid, probably would have been enough to save him anyway.
I just really enjoyed how Liquid just played the map there. They're fighting with Wyvern, Ember, and bot pressuring the Beastmaster. You then have Tiny farming top, Viper farming bottom. The fight breaks out, Tiny survives. Everyone TPs, leaving the Viper bottom to keep getting this BKB. These small plays from Mickey is opening up the Tiny to get the Blink, the Viper to get BKB. Sniper's still free farming throughout all of that. Like a 2k lead on net worth between him and the CK. So just the way that Liquid's playing the map, not wasting TPs, eking out all the resources, is allowing them to get to those timings where the items are going to sync up, and they're going to have a nice moment where they can go for Roshan or smoke up as 5. Compared to Tundra, they're playing a little bit more individual right now. They're trying to recover their own games, and they don't have a clean moment where Pango plus Beast can smoke and get a kill. It's just a little bit too difficult right now. Yeah, just a refreshing, again, I said it after game 1, but it's a refreshing change of pace from Liquid. They've struggled a little bit in the DPC so far, but this game, it's really nice map.
Top 4,
I mean,
that's pretty good.
Still struggled.
Tundra,
There's only 18.
haven't lost a series, so.
Yeah.
And yeah, they're looking very vulnerable. Although, I mean, the net worth is pretty close despite being down again. Of course, it wasn't anything like last game, which you said looked very convincing. And we're going to see the kill here on the Phoenix. No egg able to be used. I feel like if a team is down by that much in terms of kills, but the net worth is even, the other team is just better at farming, generally. Maybe it was more lineup dependent that game.
Yeah, I feel like
it felt like the thing I was saying backstage is like EG and NA obviously is a completely different comparison, but they would win every laning stage even if they were down.
I'd agree with that assessment if the lineups were the team that had least kills. You know, it's jump away.
Yep, he's fine.
It's like, imagine if the team had 1 kill, but they had a Medusa equal net worth, right? And the Medusa was into, let's say, like a PA or something.
Sure.
That would feel good. If your lineup outscales your opponent and the net worth's even, but you're playing more of the map, you're pushing up more waves, controlling Roshan, and getting just more valued resources, then it's a different story. I think it's too complex to try and generalize, but yeah. In essence, if you have few kills, a weaker lineup, but equal net worth, you are the better team, for sure. But this isn't really happening right now.
I mean, yeah, the last game felt like more of an anomaly than anything.
Yeah, no,
it was super
I'd
weird.
agree, 100%.
As DD now on 9, who obviously has the Diffusal and the Blink Dagger now. We'll see what he wants to go for next. I would assume Shard, but we'll see. And it's actually a minute and a half faster on the Blink than average.
This is the interesting part of the game now. Sniper has BKB. You just mentioned Pango having the Blink Dagger. And it's going to be, how do they utilize it? Do they poke the Sniper, force a BKB, then look for the fight after? That could be a good moment. Do they try and bait out the Winter's Curse? Because if you're Tundra, you can't run head-on. You are going to have the issues of the BKB. Viper's about to complete one as well. That's why they're doing this smoke now, trying to find a little wraparound, a little pick-off.
Yep, and he's sending, the CK is sending 1 illusion mid to try to potentially bait. But we're going to see the Avatos from Boxy. And Snake King could get the egg off if he wants. Will do so. But it's already a retreat from Liquid, so they force out the egg. A little bit surprised they didn't have the damage to finish that off, but either way, that's a It's a good spell to be down if you're a Liquid fan.
Still a nice little combo. Very close though.
Dire are
Didn't really
scanning.
catch what damage they missed there, but it looked pretty good. Baiting out the egg though. 100-second cooldown now. 120, sorry.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder, I can hear it. Not being completely activated though. 9. Obviously know that Sniper's in the area.
They've
Taking
all
out
shown
the
on the
wave.
Great Wave.
Is under
Yeah,
attack.
Oh, is
Boxy.
Boxy gonna predict it?
Dire's
Trying to
top
chase.
tower
Got the
is
CK TP. Soxa TP. Everybody's out. Pango's still there, but he looks to be quite safe.
Just a nice little wave skip. One of the strengths of Pangolier in these closer games, he actually misses the wave. I guess he doesn't see anyone on Radiant, so he's respecting that potential
Yeah.
protect the wave play.
Of course, doesn't really have to worry about like a Beastmaster.
Yeah.
Since it's on his own team.
Very helpful. Friendly fire is turned off for this game.
Yeah. Oh man, what if that was a thing in Dota? That would be a cool mode, actually. Friendly fire mode.
That's something for the Dota Plus shards. If enough fans donate their shards, after like 1 billion, friendly fire's turned on.
It sounds cool, but it would probably be so bad to
Oh no, right here, right?
Yeah.
Viper's just killing Matu.
Sniper would be dead already. Roshan already at half HP.
Radiant's middle tower
And I'm not sure
is under
Tundra is in
attack.
position to try to defend this. We'll see if they can get here in time.
X still on cooldown, right? They can't do it.
Yeah.
CK used
They're
his
gonna
ult.
smoke though.
Radiant's
We're going for another snipe, but it's a little bit too late.
Radiant structures.
So this time Liquid will get the first Roche. Aegis on Matu. And he is top net worth by a rather sizable margin. Has the Dragonless, BKB, Mask of Madness, and like you said, it actually will be the full Daedalus instead of just the Crystallis into... What did you say?
So sometimes in the sniper games, they go greedy and they go small crit pre-BKB.
Oh, I
In this game, he just respected the aggression of Tundra, went BKB, then going for the crit.
Radiant's
Soxa.
bottom tower is under
Not
attack.
able to catch anybody. But the tier 2 tower looks to be Tundra's at the very least, so they can take outpost control, although they are respecting the fact that Liquid are not completely
Radiant's
showing on the
bottom
map.
tower has fallen.
And Tundra just being very, very annoying with their play right now. 9 skipping mid, jumping back out. Beastmaster getting bottom,
Radiant's bottom tower
making sure
is
that
under attack.
all the lanes are at least pushed in, so that Liquid can't just go, all right, let's just smoke diagonally across the map. We know that lanes are in a good spot. You see Zai having to be forced back down to the spot lane. Push it out. Meanwhile, look at mid lane, there's a CK illusion there. Yeah, Tundra, they're kind of playing on mode recovery right now. They don't want to ever kind of run into the Liquid. Even though their cores
Radiant's
are doing
middle
extremely
tower is
well.
under
Like, look
attack.
at the net worth. It's
3 of the
Sniper,
top 4.
yeah, Sniper, 3 of the lads who are just skipping waves, and then the 2 Liquid cores who are running around relentlessly finding these kills.
Yep, Skeeter gets tossed back in. He has to be careful. Matu just pops the BKB and is just right-clicking in melee range. He has no problem with that. Talk about a Chad right there. Obviously has the Aegis, so didn't have to worry too much regardless. Is 9 in that Rolling Thunder. BKB now picked up by CK. Mickey ends up getting a regen rune. As we have Soxa getting the dispose off in range of this egg. Looks like it'll pop. Golden Embrace not going to save Boxy in all likelihood.
Dire's middle tower
Another
is under
Fire Spirits is enough. So it ends up being a 1-for-1, but obviously much more value kill from Liquid. We'll see what more they can get out of this Aegis.
Radiant's middle
They've still got
tower
another
has
3
fallen.
minutes, so plenty of time to get the Tiny back. Realistically, they want to take a tier 2, open up that outpost, get the control of that, have another TP,
Dire's
to play
top
around, but
tower
yeah, right
is
now
under
it's-
attack.
just Liquid playing around, moving together. Tundra still skipping waves. Like the CK dying top, a little bit ambitious. You showing bot, mid, TPing to the area that they're already playing, but alas, it does happen a couple of times. Real question is, okay, he has BKB actually, he disassembled. So CK is kind of hungry for a fight.
Yeah.
And they kind of have a decent timing, right? You got the blink on Marcy, you've already had the blink on Pango for some time now. A drum on Beastmaster after his Calm of the Overlords. Like,
Do you take a fight against Aegis?
I think they position aggressively, skip waves, and then when the Aegis is expiring, they can look for a smoke. They play on the vision of Beastmaster, ideally finding the Wyvern first, then unlock the engagement. If they don't do that, the
Radiant
Curse will
are
turn the play
scanning.
around, and they probably will fall victim to Liquid's lead that they have. But yeah, this is a decent window for Tundra. As long as they can evade these smokes and at least stay out on map, they have a moment to play into the Aegis expiring.
Yeah, Rolling Thunder coming in for
BKB's up
Zai. And he's going to get disposed back. And brought down pretty fast. Okay, Cold Embrace into the Winter's Curse, though. And Mickey is here to clean up. This is an absolute disaster for Tundra. 33 ends up getting off his ultimate, but no kills to come at all for Tundra. They lose 3, and Insania is ticking out. Finally does go down to 33 creeps as he is ruffling there.
I mean, he didn't die in the Oracle game, right? The same scenario as a Dragon versus Insania.
No false promise this time. That was a very fast reaction, cold embrace into Winter's Curse turnaround.
Yeah, that's the thing. You know, Tundra, we're going to see the highlight here. As they initiate onto the Viper, unfortunately, the Viper was already moving back towards the Viper, so a nice little bait there from Zai. Perfect control, though. Zai wasn't able to get his BKB off, so if Insania wasn't in range, would have been a free kill. But yeah, the speed in which Liquid identified that aggression and quickly pivoted over to him to keep him alive, and he does die.
Oh, he's dying to the whatever that. I don't even know what that ancient does.
The tick of
the damage over time thing that it has.
That spell's so bad.
That might be the first kill in the history of DOTA.
That is legit the first hero kill with that ancient. Oh my. Can we watch that again, please?
You're going to miss another kill because of this?
It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter.
I need to literally read what that spell does. It works on buildings, I think, right?
It does.
Yeah, so that is... Oh, it's the last tick.
The last tick.
Well, wow.
And...
Hardcore.
Oh, 2 HP. Oh.
That's embarrassing.
That is really embarrassing.
Well,
I don't think... honestly, Insania might be the first ever player in Dota to die to that spell. I don't think I've ever seen anyone die to it.
Yeah, me neither. I mean, the fact that we barely remember what the spell does just shows how much
I couldn't tell you. I'm Googling it right now.
Phantasm by Skeeter. Spot out Mickey. And M.2 ends up cleaning up that illusion quite easily. His damage is getting a little bit out of hand. He actually did not go for Daedalus, switched up and went for Butterfly instead. So we'll have good evasion.
Under attack.
And a hell of a lot of damage, but no crit yet.
Radiant structures are fortified.
It's called the Ice Fire Bomb. There you go.
Ice Fire Bomb.
It does 50 damage per second.
For how many? Oh boy, they're going to set this up. This could be a big kill. He does not have Aegis on this sniper. M.2 is dead despite having that evasion from Butterfly. Dead for 60 seconds. Huge kill for Tundra.
Massive pickoff.
Trying to take over the outpost. Looks like he'll be able to do so.
You know, credit to Tundra again. There's a ward in the Radiant jungle. That's the ward that gives them the vision to see the sniper, to set up the confidence to go for that play. You find a rare opportunity where sniper's alone, you get that kill. And you can never really count Tundra out. Like, as much as, you know, sniper's having a good game, the fact that the next 3 cores are Tundra, they are going to scale beautifully into this game. Liquid will eventually run into a hurdle where Viper doesn't really become a hero anymore. It will kind of put more emphasis on Sniper and Ember really, you know, carrying the torch for the team.
Yeah, it just feels like they're better at farming. That's what it feels like to me in both games so far.
But that's where, like, the definition of better at farming is you are actively seeking to farm. Liquid is actively seeking to fight, therefore you naturally farm less, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's like the mindset of the teams is different, and for Liquid it's more high risk, high reward, where this mindset of looking for that fight. You joked about the crit tweet, right?
Yeah.
If you don't find the fight, if you are only getting a couple kills, that naturally will always be worse than farming 7 jungle camps, the Ancients 3 lanes, right? Like, it's just...
To be fair, last game they had a shit ton of kills, and they were still getting out-farmed.
That's true.
And that might just be a formula problem. I don't know.
I wish we asked for the breakdown in that game, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, like, where the goal came from.
I feel like you could study that game for so long. It's so interesting to watch.
Like, for example, like in this game, it's 8 kills up.
Yeah, this one's not.
The creep score is just probably heavily favoring Tundra right now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, they're nearly, what was that, 100 more mid to mid? Like 60, 70 more? Yeah, they're just pushing out more lanes.
Yeah, Liquid, it just feels like in both games they're prioritizing the gank as the egg comes out.
Can they even... Volty wants to go in, Mickey wants to kill it.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage onto Boxy. He already had half HP and the dive away to safety. But Liquid just have this kind of fight mentality, brawl, if you want to call it that, and Tundra just trying to dodge the ganks, obviously, and just farming pretty efficiently.
It's how Secret won their series. I don't know, not their series today, they lost that one. Or the one against Tundra, they lost that one.
Or Secret.
It was, I think, the one against Alliance. Okay, there's the one. Oh, God, sorry. But against Alliance, all right? Like, in the first week, they did a really good job at, like, kiting out the aggression and taking the fight when they wanted to. And it was that comeback style of play Tundra is kind of doing.
Yeah.
Okay, that's kind of... I didn't think it would be a flame. I thought they won another one, but...
It's okay to say something negative about a team, you know. Actually, that wasn't even negative. You're just stating a
I'm literally just looking at the page now. Like, I'm just
like how you
saying
just
how
have
it is.
PTSD or something. Oh, no, I can't
Radiant's
say
bottom
anything.
tower
Dive,
is
yeah.
under attack.
This is
I don't
interesting.
middle me
9
from
is
my
going
DMs.
Scotty,
It's a good
by the
guy,
way, on the Pangolier. Is this...
Sorry?
9 is going Scotty on Pango.
It's the whole
Is that the
anti-heal
negative
thing,
regen?
right? Yeah, pretty much. Like, the CK doesn't really want to buy it in this game. You kind of need a little bit more lockdown yourself. He's going for the Orchid. Looks like it's going to become a Bloodthorn. And yeah, for Pangolier, it's that non-committal Scardia application, right? Throw onto the Wyvern, the Viper, anyone you're jumping so the Cold Embrace doesn't have effect. They look pretty good. Yeah, I don't mind it.
Pretty cool.
Also, you get tankier. I think it's nice for the Pangolier to actually buy items to get just raw HP. Because if he is ever clipped by a curse with the CK, you might still survive. You're not just going to get 100 to 0 with some 1700
Yeah, I mean,
HP.
that is actually a good point. Pango's not a hero that will typically buy things that give him a lot of HP. And you have the damage reduction with the shield crash, so actually getting away with something like this could prove to be really important.
Like, he could potentially go for like BKB Lincolns as well in this game, just to be that I blink into the middle of the fight. Sure, I tank the Viper, the Ember, the Curse, but then it's like, okay, what do you do? And that kind of goes back to your point earlier about it being the Pango game. His game is to be absorbing everything.
Right.
Big Roshan fight.
We got a big
Big
spot
up.
from Tundra as Roshan's being attempted. 9 into the Rolling Thunder. Winter's Curse is there. CK's going to be caught. You can see M.2 getting rolled on consistently. Pops the BKB though. Egg finally expended. The Sunray doing a shit ton of damage. It's M.2 kind of stuck in place thanks to the Cold Embrace. That's going to be used on top of the BKB. Not the greatest use of spells. He's going to buy back, but that's without a BKB. Looks like Zai's going to be the first to fall for Liquid as Tundra resetting now.
Under attack.
There's the Avalanche. 9 able to buy a little bit of space, still surviving with a lot of HP and a big reality rift. Skeeter absolutely deletes Boxy. Nice dispose onto 2 heroes into the shield crash with the Sunray to follow. M.2, this is going to be a dieback for him. He is donezo. Triple kill for Skeeter as Tundra have taken firm control of this game. They will not get the Wyvern, surprisingly, but they will get the second Roche.
Cool, calm, and collected farm for 30 minutes for Tundra to just play one fight beautifully underneath their own high ground vision on the side of Roshan on the right side. Poor M.2.
Yeah, that is a dieback for M.2.
A banging smoke though. They have the high ground vision on the right side, they smoke from the left, and they force all the spells to be used Liquid like defensively. And in doing so, they disengage from the Roshan pit. And little old sniper, you're in the middle of the river. There's no way you could ever take a fight in the middle of the river against Tundra's heroes. You're the one that needs to be on the high ground, the team in front of you.
Right.
This was a moment where Liquid's aggression just put themselves in a really bad position to take a fight. And
One
Tundra's-
fight, 12K.
Exactly. Yeah,
One
that's
fight.
literally it. Well,
That's
okay, it's one
insane.
fight, a sniper dieback, he was
Radiant's
top net
tower
worth.
is under
Yeah.
attack.
So there's a lot of things.
So,
But you're right, it was one fight.
yes, I don't know what you're arguing.
I don't know.
It just, I
feel like
understand.
I'm trying to be Slytherin. I'm trying to
Anybody
be
that
Slytherin.
casts the thing just wants to argue just for the sake of it. We should mention
We
4
get a
of the
Reddit
5
fan show
heroes
up
on
on
Tundra
it.
already have shards, so we're going to see the Marcy shard. Although
Yeah,
he
that's cool.
has it in his inventory, is not consuming it yet. I think he's still reading what it does. Let's read it. Rebound can be set to autocast to throw the targeted unit instead of rebounding off it. This one's too complicated for me, T-Gov. I'm not going to lie. I don't know if this is even good. He might not even want it.
Marcy, go jump. Unit, he jump, go woof, instead of jump.
Okay, great. Well, he's not consuming it, so I don't know if he is actually wanting
He's tabbed out. Wiki,
Wait,
Marcy.
he deleted it! He actually attacked it! He doesn't want the shard, I'm telling you. Nobody understands what this thing does. Soxa, that's my boy. Let's see a replay of that shit. I think that is basically Soxa's way of telling Ice Rock, please redesign this shard.
Can I get that one more time? But if you just look at Satsuka, he's got his face, his camera in a really good position. You can actually not even see his reaction.
Yeah.
Because look at his webcam. You can't see his smile. He's just...
I would say he's too tall, but that actually doesn't make any sense.
No.
This is a first for me.
To be clear, though, the shard, if you set it to autocast, that's when it does the spell.
He doesn't want to read about it, all right? I can totally understand that. Is they're going to get the rebound. Or that's not the rebound, that's the dispose.
God.
To a kill onto Tiny.
I've never seen a player just actively go nuts.
Oh, man. All right, whoever was on the panel for this series, whoever wins this series, that has to be a question. If it's for Liquid, you ask, do you know that he deleted the shard?
So for Tundra, the questions are mid-void.
Yes.
You've got deleting the shard.
Yeah.
Did he know what the... Did they just
you know what?
hate
Let's
it?
not do their jobs for them. Okay, they're getting paid for this.
Now, Lacoste has already got his notepad out. He's like, oh, yes, I love this.
Damn it.
He's going to throw in one
many
meme
ideas.
question. He's good.
Yeah, of course.
MVP Lacoste. But yeah, again, Liquid, when you're an aggressive team, if you can't capitalize on the aggression, get the Aegis, it feels a lot worse because the opponent will kind of ride that wave and get to a point where they rebuttal you.
Zai. Oh man, that was close. Wait! Not be over. There's a scan, but it's on the bottom of the mini-map. Saxa is going to show now.
Just going to do a quick test run.
Okay.
Saxa?
We do. Yeah.
Saxa. I pronounced it twice, 2 in a row.
I don't know why you have trouble with that.
Bro, I don't know, man.
Think of your foot. What are you wearing right now? You're wearing socks. Sock? Suh.
Yeah, but the issue... Okay, anyway. I have a slur, all right? So, like, every time I say the word, my brain just tells me...
Just think of a sock, for God's sake, a Skeeter.
Saxa's going in!
All right, we're going to try to focus on the Ember Spirit, who's on the cliff right now, disposed back onto the Wyvern.
What a good
egg is placed. That is the Sunray coming through. Remember, everybody has shard except Marcy, who never will. I guarantee it. All right, Winter's Curse. Actually, that's the Roar. Onto the M.2, already had the BKB. There's the Winter's Curse, trying to slow things up for Skeeter. But now they're going to apply all their pressure to M.2. He's dead, 80 seconds on the deck. And Tundra just rolling away with this one. Look at all the repositioning spells they have. They might as well have a Pudge on their team, for God's sake. Sunray coming in again through that egg. That's the Refresher. Ultra kill for Skeeter. He is dominating right now. Mickey trying to take out 9, but there's the Shard coming in. Mickey. Okay, he's going to give the Rampage. Nice. Well done, CK.
Good job.
Applause is made. That was for the deletion of... I mean, they wouldn't have been able to do that unless Sox had actually attacked his own Shard, of course. Buyback, though, from Ember. All these heroes at relatively low HP, Tundra's going to play this somewhat disciplined. Wait. They're going to set this. Oh, my God, they couldn't get the stun. But the Orchid is there, and that's now a dieback for Mickey. That should be the end of game number 2. And GGs do come out. So this goes to game number 3, which I think everybody should be quite happy with, because this series has been kind of insane.
Just very methodical game from Tundra. It was very reminiscent of game 1 in how they dodged out of the early aggression, they go for the split push, but this time they actually have a way to, once they've split pushed for 20 minutes, or at least just dodge the fight, they can actually find that engagement. And that Roshan Pit fight, completely different. They actually convert on the fight, they get the kill. Sniper, if you're not in position, defended by your heroes, you die instantly. And we saw that in the last 3 fights here, where Sniper in the river, insta-dies. He's by his tier 3 tower, but his team disengages tier 4, insta-dies. So positioning is key. And yeah, Tundra just really methodical, reading through it. And, yeah,
I have a question.
Might have the answer.
I have a question. If you delete an item, does that count as a deny? Because Saxa, his CS ends at 36 and 1. Is that 1 actually his item, or does that not count?
Keep it here, please.
You're going to open a test game? All right, yeah, we're going to hold it. Hold on.
Hold.
We're not ready yet.
We're not ready to go.
Hold on. Hold on.
Please hold.
We're going to watch.
All right. All right, I'm
You're playing Death Prophet. It's not exactly right, but that's okay.
Okay. I'm buying the shard just for continuity. Yep.
All right. You consume it, though.
Yeah.
Delete any item. Just buy any item.
Okay. Fairy Fire.
Good Lord. You're really
Okay, it doesn't matter, right? I deny it.
Okay. And...
I need to find my last. Doesn't count as a last hit.
Okay, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate.
Denying your
Saxa actually denied a creep and his shard that game. Will he do the same in game 3? Probably not, but we'll be back after this break nonetheless.
What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
I feel like I just met you every time we meet again. You got me questioning, are we more than friends? I close my eyes and through the night imagine you out there. I think it's only fair that I tell you once again. first saw you here. Just close your eyes and hold me tight while we dance till the dawn. Baby, don't you know you always were the one? Oh, baby, you still make me feel like I'm on top of the world. Oh, baby, you still make me feel like I'm on top of the world.
Yesterday I ran across Santa Fe, but no one noticed cause I was all dressed in grey. Kicks on, sweatbands, it clashed, whatever. Today I do it, I run again. A million watching, but none of them knew my name. I dreamed, they laughed, they clapped together.
Tundra continue doing public service to the Dota community. They lose with mid-faceless Void. They beat a sniper. Life's good for pubs. We are saved, Waga, because, well, actually, you were a proponent of sniper.
Oh, God.
Oh, wait.
Okay.
My memory is starting to come back.
Here's the thing, Tsunami.
Here's the thing.
He didn't buy the shard, though.
He didn't buy the
I'm
shard.
honestly... I'm upset.
There was even a shard on the ground at one point in the game, and he didn't take it.
He wasn't there.
He wasn't there.
Wrong place. Marcy didn't want it.
Okay, so Suns fan, before we are coming here into the studio, he says, yeah, you know what? I figured it out. Like, he figured out what the shard... He doesn't know what the shard does.
No, he didn't figure that part out. Don't worry.
It's too complicated, but he's like, I know why Marcy did that. Because it's a free one and does not want to increase her network because it's a relatively useless shard.
Yeah.
It's a
did not know what it does.
It's a situational shard. But yes, that is a context for not increasing your net worth, I suppose. And they got the win in the end anyway, Lacoste. They defeated Team Liquid Sniper.
They do. I gotta agree. You know, I would love to see Sniper picking up like some sort of mobility for him, but we're talking about the pike or the grenade, the shard one, because every single time they go on, and there were a couple of good curses, but there were a couple of grief curses, like and the cold embrace
BKB
as well. Yeah, it's just like, okay, a little bit of a misplay here and there, but that one big Roche fight where they go in with Sniper, he buys back. Game just ends. They catch him one more time. Marcy had pretty much his number to be able to reposition him, and the only saving tool was Winter Wyvern, pretty much.
I honestly think he got trapped in the mindset of, I'm Sniper, I must do all the right-click damage, and his itemization was very much for that, right? He wanted to do all of the right clicks, but if you just went with something like Shard to keep yourself a little bit more safe, Hurricane Pike, possibly keeping yourself even safer, I think Ember contributes a lot of damage. Winter Wyvern will also take down a lot of damage over the course of the fights. He can get a big curse against these heroes, CK Beastmaster. I don't think you have to see yourself as the one thing that's going to carry, because if you do itemize only for damage, the enemy will only go on you, and if you die, then that's it.
So then, in terms of his itemization, would you have stopped at maybe not getting the butterfly and at
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely before the butterfly. I even think that Gleipnir is an amazing item that we could have seen in this game against CK. I think it's actually really strong for locking him down. But either way, we see Tundra, you know, doing the service here. I do agree. They played great.
They did. And then looking forward to game 3, Liquid, it feels like they had a completely different playbook for game number 2. They did not really rely too much on the heal strats. They had the Wyvern, but it was not a strategy. It was just a situationally good hero.
It was not enough. I mean, Team Liquid, they do tend to pick a bit of a different heroes, as we were talking about on the previous panel. Just like they have their own style. Sometimes they experiment a little bit too much, I would say.
Yeah, last week, I think it was.
Yeah, the carry podge especially.
Me and Jenkins, yeah, we got pulled in by the carry podge this week. It was also game 2.
The thing also on the panel, you start talking about like, oh yeah, I like Liquid's draft. I'm like, sure, man, Vaga knows. I'm like, hell yeah, that sniper, I'll join. Doesn't happen. This is why we have so many curses on the panel.
Of course. That's why we will be sure to all predict. Well, actually, it doesn't matter now.
We should say it at the same time.
Right.
And then it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it gets into your head.
But it doesn't get into their head. The players are playing.
No, we can't really affect what.
I don't know. I believe in the butterfly
I think
effect. We have cosmic powers here. That's why I've brought you a game number 3 after the break.
It's like a wild wind. It moves me. Can't hide, cannot escape. You drive me so wild and beautiful. You're strong and wonderful. I high in the sky. I feel it in my bones. You drive me. So wild and beautiful. So wild and beautiful. Round the world, you shine on. It's what I'm looking for. You drive me so wild and beautiful. You're strong and wonderful. I high in the sky. I feel it in my bones. You drive me. So wild and beautiful. So wild and beautiful.
Don't stop, gotta get it going. Keep it moving, won't stop.
We are going the distance here for our second Div 1 series of the day. Liquid keeping people guessing. Are they actually pretty good? They took that first game off of Tundra, and game number 2, they're like, wait a second. Of course Tundra's the favorites. Of course Tundra actually was on main stage at the Major. And now, I don't know what to think, Waga. What's Liquid got up their sleeve for game number 3?
We asked which Liquid is going to show up for today. It's both
of them.
All of them. Yeah, I'm again bamboozled here. As last time, they also hit me with a curveball of the second game Pudge carry. This time, the sniper. I was a believer, but now I'm
You
inclined
made me
to,
a believer as well?
Yeah, I converted you. I'm inclined to believe that, you know, Liquid are not really finding that balance that I was asking about. Their highest level, I mean, game 1 was really one-sided. Even though they kept up in farm on Tundra, they were not really standing a chance. Game 1 was one-sided, but here, it feels like they dropped the ball again.
Okay. And Tundra just smooth and steady, Lacoste?
Yeah, CK for Skeeter. This is the hero that he has been playing, you know, when no one else was touching it. He was trying to figure it out, how it works, and it was always his special hero. And now that hero is in a good state, even in the previous patch when he was even more buffed, just feels good for him to play it, and always provides like top-tier performance on a hero.
Radiant team back.
Liquid remaining true to their bans yet again. The Alchemist and the Zeus taken out.
Make a lot of sense. I mean, this is just what we're seeing. And again, Tundra still respecting. You don't want to suddenly forget about the Lone Druid and just let Matumba have that.
Yeah.
Don't do your enemy team any favors. They are taking a little bit of time here, though, deciding how they want to approach what they're going to let through. They're going to remove the Viper. Still thinking that that's an annoying hero to deal with overall.
So consistently, Marcy is being let through in the first phase bans. And yet, Marcy has a 100% win rate in this series.
Radiant team pick.
That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so you're saying Liquid has won, huh?
That's all it took.
Okay,
all you need is one Marcy.
That's how
we
it
were
works.
gonna wait with our predictions until after you said.
I can't trust you guys anymore. I have to make
God.
executive decisions.
You've ruined it. I feel influenced already.
There you go.
This is horrible.
Maybe I should invite
I
you
need
to
to
my
get it out of
training
my
camp
head.
next
I
time.
need to reset. I mean, yeah, Marcy in these kind of games where you have like repositioning tool, where you're saving people, a lot of fighting, if you manage to get multiple spells off, it kind of feels nice. Where's that Dazzle at?
Yeah, I know, you keep asking for it, and I see it trending in other regions.
Dire team.
And, oh, well.
Oh, he gets it.
My God.
There we go.
Still minus armor with Reality Rift, so if they want to follow it up with a Weaver later on, that is some potential, but these two heroes by themselves. Also, I love Dazzle with illusion carries, or just illusion heroes, because the way that whatever
Good
the
old PL Dazzle combo, yeah.
Which is the Juju that does it? Is it the good or the bad?
I don't. The mediocre Juju, I think.
The middle Juju.
Because it's not amazing until you do have illusion heroes.
So all the units that have the buffs, is it increases the heal or?
Increases the heal for your allies and damage to the enemies depending on how many stacks they got, and they get stacks when they're affected by a spell that you cast.
Yeah, right.
So graving an ally and healing him is going to put 2 stacks on your ally, right?
Start a team fight with the Grave.
Just straight up.
Straight up Grave
honestly,
yourself.
Yeah. Just throw the Grave out there for value.
What about that Axe hero? It's pretty good, I hear.
Do you need to counter Dazzle that hard though? Because I mean,
It becomes difficult in the fights. I feel like the hero is in a pretty bad state, but we might see it sometimes in a game 3 when it matters. You're like, well, what we go back. We go back to 2013. Well, still some counters that work, so we might see it.
It did pop up in one NA series.
It did?
I don't remember if it won or not, but it did pop up. And for what it's worth, Battle Hunger Slow is actually way stronger than I thought it was, because it's like it now works whenever you're facing away from Axe. Battle Hunger slows you by like 40%, which is pretty exceptional, but still, like you said, not a very popular hero right now.
The Axe is one option that they can go for. Otherwise, I was also thinking that against these healers of CK and Dazzle, AA is an option that you can go with. But with Caudle already in the team, kind of takes up the same backline position. And I'm not a big fan of having heroes compete for the same spot in a team fight. Like, you want to have a nice balance between frontliners, backliners, and, the ones in between, the ones who kind of skirmish around.
Radiant team back.
This might be, I mean, with Team Liquid, you don't know. That was
where these heroes are
going. Exactly. I would say this Night Stalker says Keeper of the Light is gonna be a core, but they flexed it in the game 1, so you never know.
10 seconds remaining.
Blinding Light against CK repositioning
5
on the
seconds
target
remaining.
that is graved is always going to feel nice. So you have Blinding Light and you have
Dire
Dispose.
team back.
Yeah. Also, I mean,
Also,
if
you have the
Caudle,
Marcy Shard that I hear.
Oh,
is really
Marcy
good.
Shard, it's so
Such
good.
a good repositioning tool.
there we go. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd hit that shard for sure. As with some pro players.
10 seconds remaining.
And also, for what it's worth, I have seen more documentation online that is saying that Captain's Mode is blind in terms of hero picks.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so I guess Liquid were probably just internally debating.
Right.
Mickey, do you know how to play Marcy?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Lycan banned out. They're scared of the push potentially coming out from 33.
Yeah, because actually they've been consistently first phasing 33 and his Beastmaster. And so
Usually.
this is the first time in a while that 33 is getting saved for a later phase.
Yeah, there's been a very long period in DPC of 33 just being targeted by every single ban. But here against Liquid, you know, the Alchemist, the Zeus ban, those two opening bans give some space to 33 to get banned in the later phases instead. So they decide to wait because it just doesn't feel right to give him his hero immediately. All jokes aside, I think 33 and the heroes he plays is sort of the backbone of Tundra. What they base their entire mid game off is
If he's having a
how he
good
plays.
time, you know that Tundra is going to have a good time. That's like
Yeah.
Tundra guaranteed, pretty much.
Yeah, no matter if your mid is winning or not, it's like whatever. Your carry's winning or not, that's whatever. But if you get a summon hero rolling, and he usually plays these like Visage, Beastmasters.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Visage here. Big fan against Keeper of the Light whenever you need to have something in the backlines. If it's also a good matchup, I could see them fitting in hero like a Dead Prophet, which is a lot of minus armor from Dazzle. CK synergizes nicely. This is something that they ran multiple times with the Monkey King. This is going to be a scouting monkey. Trying to figure out where the heroes are, go for the pickoffs. Good way to like protect people when they try to go on, like even on Dazzle. If you try to make Dazzle's life miserable, he can protect Dazzle with just one Boundless to be able to get the Grave off.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's very valuable to play the monkey that way against a hero like Caudle. You just need to get in there and see where the Illuminates are coming from, see where the hero is, so you can identify and get a good jump on him. Once you have Blink on CK, he can follow up on that. And he's stunned by a monkey, and you have your help coming. Ultima is not agreeing about something right now.
Ultima's like, no, I'm not playing Lifestealer.
Not Sniper,
I'm not
man.
playing Lifestealer. That guy has one ability. Don't pick it for me.
Dire
Also,
team
fun trivia about
Radiant
9.
team
He has played a different hero every single game with the DPC other than Pango. I think Pango was his first duplicate. So he has been... Oh, actually, no, not even Pango was it. He's played a different hero every single game.
He is an extremely flexible player. He just shines
except
on so many
Zeus.
things.
Zeus is the only one that he duplicated. But yeah, I mean, the versatility is exceptional.
Yeah, he's usually their flex. They either pick a hero they could take mid in the early phase, or they wait and pick the most suitable hero for him in the second or second to last phase.
And there's 33's hero, most likely.
Okay, this Visage needs to be addressed in one way, though. Visage pick into Bristle. I like Visage, but into Bristle is a little bit of a different story.
Yes.
Because we saw Bristle, this is in Div 2, granted, but we saw Gork's team actually smash with Bristle against Visage twice in a row, making the Visage entirely useless.
Okay.
That matchup is pretty rough once the Aghanims comes up on Bristle.
Yeah, it can get difficult. Like even in the lane, because something that Team Liquid does, especially in Sania, he buys a bunch of mangoes to feed. Like I remember the game the other day on Enchantress, bought 6 mangoes just to be able to feed his carry and himself, and might do the same thing when playing with the Bristleback. Like you definitely like want to enable him in the lane, and if you get the trade kills, your Bristle doesn't die, you die instead. This is a big win for Team Liquid.
And Visage is a very low armor hero, and with Bristle, of course, being able to reduce it even lower, but also being so much physical damage, you can die very quickly. And he removes the cloaks fast. There's a lot of bad stuff about Visage into Bristle that I'm surprised Tundra went with it. Then again, if it's 33 playing it, he is really, really good at it. So, and maybe he just sees, okay, there's a Caudle. I want to kill this Caudle over and over and make it easy for us.
It's a still a good Pango game for Tundra because they don't have anything. Is it banned?
Yeah, they banned it.
Oh, they banned it.
Perhaps they feared that Liquid will also want the Pango against CK. And
Yeah, it's definitely a good matchup.
Yeah, both teams would probably enjoy a Pango, to be honest.
Pango enjoyers.
But
both of these
they
teams.
don't have the next pick, right? It's Liquids. They're just making sure Dazzle has a little bit more of a game.
And now with this Lashrak pick, it gives Team Liquid a lot of momentum, and it also means that you gotta get a ranged core pretty much on the mid lane to be able to match up. What about that Lina that you were mentioning?
No.
Yep.
To have a break mechanic eventually, you buy into Silver Edge. Either that or you get something like Invoker. I wouldn't mind seeing
I love
those two.
I love either of those suggestions. They're good, good ways to deal with Bristol, either by the mana burn of Invoker or the break, like you said. I'm happy to see Leshrac get picked here by Liquid. To touch a little bit on it, if he gets to the point of having like a Shroud later on with the spell Lifesteal, having Oracle in the team,
Oh, yeah,
Oracle
that's the
ultis
classic
you
combo.
on Leshrac, you're just not dying. And also, Lesh Aghanims against CK is really good. It's also good against Visage.
Visage Birds.
So-
Even Monkey to one extent. Like you know that
to a degree, yeah.
Yeah, you want to get scaling items on Monkey this game, I would say, because like the game might get difficult and you want to prepare for it. This is, I would say, pretty classic Team Liquid lineup. We're going to run at you, no cooldowns whatsoever. Opens up the Roche. Big fan of Oracle Leshrac because like Bristleback most of the time is not going to need that ulti from Oracle. Instead, it's going to be Leshrac.
And Coddle Leshrac, you have the mana
yeah.
to keep going. So yeah, Liquid have a lot of nice synergy here. They're tricking me with their draft again. They're making me feel safe.
You did finally have your first wrong prediction of the night.
Well, 80%, not 100%.
That's true. And now Tundra need to figure out a way to pick up the pieces. They got a minute of reserve time, and I find it unlikely that any of these heroes are going to get flexed anywhere than where we're expecting, so chances are we just need to, like you were saying, Lacoste, find a ranged core that can find an Oracle in the backlines.
I mean, either you go for something that can dive in on the backlines, or you rely on the CK's Blink Dagger and the Visage potentially having an Aghanims at some point, and let them deal with the backline, and you pick yourself up something that can deal with Leshrac and Bristle running in. So that's where I think Lina could fit really well. And she follows up really well on all the stunts that you have setting up.
I think you got to think about the lane as well. That's why we mentioned Invoker plus Lina, because these two match up nicely. Invoker can region up against Leshrac, and Lina can keep her distance. I'm really surprised that we didn't see too much of Lina, because she got a big buff.
Yeah. But Invoker, I mean, this is a great hero to just burn the mana here, get the Quas Wex going in this game, I would say, even though you have Exort potential too. Quas Wex
Get all three, get Quas Wex and Exort, get all the yeah.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. That's actually pretty good. More Invokers should do that.
This is why you're an analyst. Fucking smart.
Is it worth doing that against a Coddle though? Because I feel like most of the mana degen would be recovered from a Coddle.
I still think it is, because you're picking this Coddle expecting to have a lot of mana. So even if you have, of course, the ability to regain some, you're not going to be working with this surplus now. You're going to be like normally, you know, like, yeah, I don't have extra
Just
mana.
a standard game.
Yeah, just an average Leshrac.
Okay.
I like what Team Liquid's got. They have no cooldowns whatsoever. How many cooldowns do we have on the other side? On Tundra?
Ooh,
like
we got
Invoker, none.
like a
Visage, don't care.
Monkey
also, nothing. Dazzle Seal, pretty much like they can fight back, but I like this run at you lineup. They have a horse hero with Leshrac. They have a horse logo.
True.
I'm liking what Team Liquid has.
But they have the Dark Horse on Tundra with the CK though.
Oh, the four of those. 5
A lot
dags.
of horses.
4 horsemen of apocalypse.
Apocalypse, there we go.
Yeah, I mean, I've been tricked by Liquid before. I want to go with them, but out of spite, I'm going to say Invoker is a cool hero. I'm not going
Let it be on record that Walken does not hold grudges.
Something is telling me that Liquid has the better draft, but I've been scorned before by them. I think Tundra will take this. Invoker is great. He has a lot of spells.
Okay, fun. I like the motivation behind his decision making. And what was I supposed to do this time? Oh right, it's T-Gov! It's Shannon.
Okay, thank you. That was more anticlimactic than I thought it would be, which is perfect, actually. Hello, T-Gov. How are you?
I'm good.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it because this is game number 3 between Team Liquid and Tundra. Tundra are undefeated If they lose, they won't be undefeated. That's how this works. Unless they have something else in store for us, which I can't even imagine right now. But I can imagine an Invoker in this game. T-Gov, what do you think, buddy?
Ooh, I mean, Tundra's lineup is a little bit scary in the sense that I think it's weaker this time around. You know, they picked the Visage into the Bristleback. Bristle does pretty well against that.
Yeah.
CK needs a bit of time to come online. There's a Lesh, the Oracle. This is the lineup where Liquid, their aggressive style can actually run over Tundra a little bit more. They don't have enough wave clear that they've had in previous games to fall back on. And that's how they kind of kept themselves into game 1 and win game 2, right? It's that non-stop wave clear for half an hour. Yeah, this will be a difficult game for Tundra, I feel.
I mean, having said that, though, I think, for me at least,
Go on.
Visage, if I had to pick one team that could pull off a Visage against counters, it is Tundra. Not just because of 33, but because of their beautiful coach, AUI 2000, a very legendary Visage player himself. The fact that they picked it into Bristle, like you said, is weird, but I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt on this one.
And that's fair, because the benefit of the doubt is the fact that 33, of course, plays the Visage in a aura buying style. He's enabling his team, so it's less about hunting and picking off heroes where Bristle thrives at, because like you never get picked off by a Visage, right? So he's going to slot more into that supporting role, playing behind with the team, and not really looking to hunt people down. So I think game-wise, very much will be fine. In regards to lane and the poke that you have, Bristle should do perfectly fine. But it will be a true test on how Tundra synergizes their hero together to bring the most out of them, because like we already mentioned, there are a couple heroes that don't have the best matchups, right? CK into Leshrac, Visage into Bristleback. This Invoker pick, he's going to have to do a lot of carrying to unlock his heroes to play the game.
Now, do you see any different type of strat? Like we've talked about this in game 1 and 2, the strategies between both these teams have been drastically different. Liquid kind of snowbally, want to just fight constantly. Tundra avoiding fights, split pushing, just waiting for their timing and then pouncing, which we saw in the literal one fight that turned the game last time around. Do you see anything different with these lineups that don't really cater to what the playstyles have been thus far, or it'll be par for the course?
It feels like it's going to be the same in regards to the Liquid looking for the fight, looking to play more aggressive lane and break down the map. Because Tundra, you know, you got heroes like Dazzle, Invoker, they can easily TP into these engagements, turn the fight around, and I look to see Tundra be a very reactionary-based team until, like we mentioned, you have Armlet, Echo, BKB on CK, a couple more items, maybe like a Vessel, like a Skadi, etc. And then I'm kind of listing items, not on specific heroes. But yeah, I do feel like Tundra is going to be on the back foot and then suddenly be explosive once they feel confident.
Okay. Looking forward to that, if that ever ends up happening.
If that ever happens, oh god.
I mean, game 1, it never happened, to be fair.
True, yeah.
So, they did stay in it for quite a while, but...
Yeah, and the key thing is on the mid lane, you already see the Invoker with his build going Quads Wex, going for that Urn, looks to be the Vessel. Of course, Oracle will always be able to dispel it.
Ooh, Soul Assumption, Boundless Strike, not quite enough. Soxa, will he find the range? Well, First Blood ends up going the way of Liquid, but they do find the kill with the Soul Assumption eventually, as Skeeter bot lane drops. Man, that's a lot of kills in a short period of time. But that's one core for Tundra. I guess it's one core each.
The key thing for Tundra is their lineup. They thrive on level 2 advantage. We see it in top lane and bot lane. Sure, the first one goes to Liquid, but Dazzle, CK, these heroes, even like Visage and Monkey King, once they have that second point, be it the Solar Assumption or the Stun or the Spring, like there's so much ability to find kills. And then Tundra just utilizing it quite nicely to find them. I think for Liquid, their side lanes, they grow much stronger with time, where like one cheap laning item plus a couple levels, they're going to be able to just exist. Coddle just spamming down the wave, pushing it out. But it is a different CK game in regards to, against Coddle, you have to sustain. You will always farm pretty much every creep because Coddle doesn't deny, he just shoves the wave. So this will be a very farm CK, not like a recovery one that we had to see in previous games.
Well, I will say, I know the panel kind of touched on this a bit, but Invoker, it does feel like a really good Invoker game, especially with Quaswex. Mana burn against heroes like Bristleback, like we see Boxy get off the dispose. Illuminate comes in, deletes. Sorry, Snake King and deletes Boxy.
Is he going to just run him down?
Will he actually drop here? Illuminate, not quite up yet.
20 mana short.
Health Salve might try to turn this around, in fact, as Soxa ends up dropping on the other side, but the Shadow Wave from Snake King is there, along with the Tango. But the mana burn, we talked about the Midas in game number 1. That was on a Faceless Void, and they still kind of kept afloat, and that's kind of a standard build here. in addition to the Spirit Vessel. Are you expecting that? I mean, Spirit Vessel against this lineup sounds unbelievably good.
9 though.
Yeah, he's going to get Split Earth.
Nice body blocks.
And blocks from Boxy. Doesn't look like they'll be able to do too much more, but 9 is extremely low. We'll get that regen thanks to the Quas. Snake King looks to survive bot lane.
Yeah, I feel like this for the Invoker. You kind of want to go...
Oh, hold that thought!
Don't die!
Yep, Tornado disposes there. Okay, not the greatest synergy, but 9 pops a Fairy Fire, actually surviving a little bit longer. Eventually, Boxy does get the kill.
Yeah, I was about to say for this Invoker, he wants to get a Vessel as quick as possible, find a couple kills, and then get the excuse to get the Midas to be able to scale into the Invokers that we often see. If you can't get the Vessel early enough, then a quick, let's say, the Shroud on Leshrac plus a yours or a BKB, Bristle naturally goes Ags BKB. Oracle good position, it can just remove all of this.
Bot lane, another Dispose coming out. Illuminate after the Shallow Grave, but Snake King sidesteps it. Now we have the turnaround. Skeeter. It's off that Reality Rift, focusing on Boxy now. Another Dispose comes in, and the rebound away for Boxy. Looks like he's fine, but the Chaos Bolt will end up proccing. But in the tree line is Zai, who's going for another Illuminate. Snake King does not sidestep, but it's not enough damage regardless.
He had a range.
Man, a lot of back and forth in this bot lane. Another Illuminate coming. Snake King looking to dodge.
Another raindrop.
He's down to 3. He had the full charges before this.
Poor little Snake King. He's just staying here for one more hill.
Poor young lad. And a lane like this really shows the power of the salve changes as well. Can't really just salve your carry.
But also the power of Dazzle CK, right? Like, against any other lane, this carry and support would be fully removed. They've got good mana resources to be able to keep the heal up, but also they bought this double range up. You don't see this often where teams will prioritize range up, of course, against Keeper of Light, even like the mid Storm Spirits back in the day. A casual range up can just destroy a lane, and you can feel Zai a little bit. It's like, I kind of want to be killing them right now. Like, they're full HP still.
His salve's going to get canceled, but there's the instant dispose.
Yes, good dispose.
Boxy keeping Zai alive. Man, this is a really tough combo to go against. I mean, the fact that, dispose, we've seen how impactful it is in general on whether it's core or support, but the fact that the support, in this case, Marcy, the strengthening is unbelievable. Like, she's so tanky just right off the bat.
It's one of the heroes that was a core to start with, but then it's been nerfed into a support, but the aspects of the core are still there, right? So it's one of those hybrid doubles. Yeah, very unfortunate.
Kind of like Dawnbreaker.
True. I mean, all the new heroes are kind of tanky, obnoxious mobile heroes. Yeah, that's a good point.
Didn't want to go down that road.
I mean,
Dawnbreaker's cool, though. I like Dawnbreaker. Marcy, maybe a little bit of tuning is needed. I'm not sure.
What do you think about Primal Beast, though?
I love him.
You do?
I love these strength heroes. What can I say?
It's another one, actually.
It's all three. They're really up my alley. I like heroes with good ags and shards, and Marcy's are too confusing for me. So I'm like Soxa, just
he
not
agrees.
interested, you know?
Just delete it. To be fair, though, don't forget, we didn't mention the previous cast, but it is the 5-head play, right? If there's an item that you don't want, just delete it so you don't have the net worth cheaper buyback, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you don't want to have the upgrade to a spell, don't just pick it up anyway for, for memes. Think about your net
If
worth.
he's not going to use it, he's not going to use it. It's just plain and simple. Soxa, man, we're speaking of, will be disposed, and Insania gets credit for that kill. I feel like his KDA this series has been higher than normal, getting a lot of kills.
He's popping off. He's also played some pretty good heroes to get those kills, right? Oracle, Winter Wyvern. They're some of the better heroes to snipe a kill. Oops, sorry, got the curse.
Yep.
Stole the kill, boys, but Insania having a pretty good series.
9 looks like he's going for Witchblade, so might not be seeing the Midas.
Or the Vessel, actually. Just respecting the Oracle and the early lead that Liquid's kind of somewhat having.
If you go Earn, do you have to go, like, will you end up going Spirit Vessel later, maybe?
No, unfortunately not. Vessel's the item where you want to buy it like pre-minute 14 to have that 3-4 minute window of the game where Vessel is just OP and just you obliterate these tanky cores. But I guess, again, like we did mention it earlier, because of the Oracle, in the back of his mind, it's like he's relying on his team to prevent the Oracle getting the Dispel or even the Ultima off to then have the Vessel feel good. So there's too many ifs and buts for this Invoker to want to use his economy on it. So just going to play his own game, go for a Witchblade, still a pretty good option.
Soxa's here. Try to take out this Coddle. Will be able to do so pretty successfully, but Mickey has come to play. Dispose into Split Earth. Nope.
Tornado.
Split Earth is canceled thanks to that tornado. But they might still have the runaround here as Skeeter will be dropping to the right click of Boxy of all heroes.
And that is the concern Tundra will have now for the next 10 to 15 minutes of this game. Outside of pickoffs, if the Leshrak's on the CK has issues. If Bristle's on Visage has issues. So now you're hoping that Dazzle, Invoker, and Monkey King can kind of put the jigsaw together to provide a big enough fight to get them away, to expel their mana, to prevent Bristle from feeling confident. And it's a tall order to ask for, but it's something they're going to have to really identify, because this is Liquid's kind of biggest window in this game is going to be the post-laning phase to 20-25 minute mark. And you see how they're using it now. Syncing up the 2 cores, finding kills in the side lane.
Ouch. Get that kill right next to the tier 1 tower, which is going to force the fort.
Force the fort, yep.
Obviously one of the best heroes at pushing these towers early on with that Diabolic Edict. It is at level 3 right now.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Has his arcane boots. Looking for the Kaya to start out.
Yep, going to be a little bit greedy with itemization because, again, the Oracle, he's going to rely on the Bristleback being tanky enough to not need help from the Oracle, allowing the Leshrac to be a bit greedy, go for the Kaya, and just run on. Poor snaking, though.
Oh, the creeps end up helping him a bit. And TP's coming in. Wukong's command from Soxa. Boundless Strike to follow. Will they be able to find anybody? Skeeter comes in from the north, so it looks like the consolation kill will be on the Boxy, but the Tornado clips Mickey, but I don't think they're going to have the catch here to get anything more. They do defend that tier 1 tower, but that did cost a lot of TPs from Tundra.
And if you didn't catch that, Insania self-cast the Fortune's End before the tornado hit him to instantly dispel it, to be able to then potentially ult the Leshrac if needed. Sure, they're far enough away they didn't use it, but again, the heads-up play from Insania to preemptively do that.
Skeeter, he's getting gone on. He has to be careful here. 3 stacks of goo, make it 4. There's the grave. I don't think this is going to save him from an untimely end here. Tries to get off that ult, but it is not to be. So Matu gets credit for that kill.
And then instantly,
meanwhile, yep, 9. He's going to get disposed with that Unleash combo. Split Earth is there as well. They have so much damage to follow this up with. So Liquid taking very good advantage of this timing right now, and they're going to go for the tier 1 mid.
I swear Marcy had a keen optic there. He was quite far away from that Invoker. But he doesn't. He has a broom handle. Like, that just felt wrong. Another hero goes down. Okay. Liquid riding the wave of their heroes, but that felt a little bit too far to be able to actually dispose.
Dispose feels very strong, let's just say.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
And that is true. Like, the range of Dispose is actually quite low.
What's the person from The Incredibles?
It doesn't feel like it's low.
What's the mother in The Incredibles? The stretchy arm girl. That's basically what Marcy is. Like, you're not really close, but
it's like these auto attacks that they're in range for just a split second, and it doesn't matter how far away you are, you're still going to connect on it.
Yep. Because, yeah, that was out of range, in my opinion. But
in your opinion, you're wrong, I think.
So if
unless there's a bug. Jeff Hill, are you watching? Is that a bug?
Bro, look at...
Wait.
That is pretty...
Yeah, that's not really
That's pretty far.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, the range of the dispose
Maybe the indicator's just wrong.
Maybe. That was, to be fit, that was very yeah, look at that.
That's melee range.
Yeah, that's melee range. And it felt like it was like 1.5 bigger than that range.
Yeah. No, I agree.
It was kind of big. You know, boxy.
Yeah,
bigger than expected.
Loxa is just keeping an eye on Zai, who has the boots of travel.
Oh, I like the change up from Zai though, going for the Orchid this game.
Oh yeah, you're right.
He's going to use that move speed, the rebound off him as well, and be able to quickly find that Dazzle, Orchid from a distance, the additional cast range, to unlock the fight and not have those saves to boot.
So Liquid have had a kill advantage in every game so far, and we've talked to death about how game 1 went. But this is the biggest lead they've had at this stage of the game in terms of just like the pure net worth differential.
Yeah, and this draft is going to feel way worse, right? Because you have this Ags rushing Bristleback. When he buys that, he could even look to go Roshan pre-Ags with the goo and the team being ready if Leshrac is able to get an item. But realistically for Liquid, they're going to use this point in the game to hold a strong position, then farm up the BKB on the Leshrac, the Ags on the Bristleback, and that'll be the go time. If anyone enters their territory, they're going to clean up some free kills. For Tundra, they can't really amass a fight right now. Yeah, love the aggression there.
Looking for that Split Earth. He'll find it, and Matu's in the area as well. But you can see Snake King has the grip. Okay, never mind. Not going for the grave. So that's going to be a second kill coming out for Liquid across the map. Obviously, much more valuable kill there on the CK. But Liquid feel like they're just snowballing big time.
They're doing exactly what they did in the previous games. They find a kill on a key core, and they instantly identify they need to go to the end, their own jungle, because naturally in Dota, right, if you're playing one side of the map, the other 50% is occupied by your opponent. So anytime they find a kill, the speed in which they run across the map to try and find another pick-off, or at least occupy both jungles, find both farm, that's the type of play that allows Tundra and other teams to eke out extra farm, because Liquid is spending a little bit more time running around the map, just trying to close out entries to the jungle. But with this type of game, with this lead that they have, it's going to feel really good doing it, because you're not really losing farm. You're just already ahead.
Yeah. And M.2, like you said, about 1,000 away from finishing Ags, and you'd expect Roche to come shortly after that. And it's like Tundra, I mean, they have the Wraith Pack now on 33, but what other timings can they even afford to wait for, if that makes any sense? CK still very far away from his Echo Saber, just on the armlet right now.
The timing right now for Tundra is probably contesting Roshan in the hope that Oracle's out of position to enable a jump, have a Wraith Pact in a nice position behind a tree that doesn't get killed off. But again, I also feel like if you're Tundra, you might just want to dodge that Roshan fight, give them the first Aegis, skip more waves, and wait. Because if you just look at the CK, his items, they don't really reflect a carry that wants to run into a Leshrac right now.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever wanted to see a CK with Armlet into Echo. Tundra kind of needs to do what they've done in the previous two games, just
that is
get waves and hope.
Liquid don't really have a great Roche killing team. It's just Bristle.
Yep.
And on the other side, Tundra, I mean, CK did get nerfed, so not going to be quite as good against Roche, but definitely a better team for killing it, theoretically.
It's like if Liquid went to Roshan, they would probably spend too much time there opening up the map for Tundra that they might not feel it's worth it at this current state of the game. They'd rather just run into the opponents. And they're kind of baiting M.2 bottom.
Yeah, Tundra want to potentially find him? No. Knowing that he's probably just...
But Liquid's coming.
Slightly too tanky. Boxy and Mickey looking to start this fight. Wukong's command already goes off. And Mickey taking a decent amount of damage. He's going to get False Promise relatively early. They blow up Insania right off the bat. So 5v4 advantage for Tundra. Soul Assumption is there. Do they have the catch? As M.2 is just going absolute ham with that Aghanim Scepter. Chaos Bolt is going to connect, but Soxa looks to be mega dead. Buyback now from Insania. Can just TP back in. See the Wraith Pact? On the outskirts of this fight as 9 getting chased. Solar Bind is there, but they're not really going to be able to follow it up with much. So it ends up being a 1-for-1 with the buyback coming out from Insania. Although Skeeter's still getting chased.
He's getting gooed up.
M.2, yeah, with that Aghanim Scepter, just get these goo stacks very nice and juicy, and he's going to get surrounded. So Skeeter, a little bit of overconfidence, so out of position and drops.
And this is Roshan. Yep, instance. Oh, the DD for Roshan. Oh.
Yep, that is nice. And with that, I don't think
they didn't
Tundra
need it,
can,
but they got it, yeah.
I mean, they're going to see this with the Sunstrike, but they don't really have a hero that can just jump in and out, other than the Monkey. I mean, he can't jump out, I guess, Monkey King, but theoretically could try to steal.
We saw that today, actually, in the Div 2 game. MNT on DGG just jumps in, perfectly times the spring, kills Roshan, and gets the Aegis. But alas, Liquid get a freebie.
If they lose Aegis and this kill here, that is rough stuff. 9 drop. Liquid just running away with this game.
Yeah, it's a beautiful draft, and they're just playing it really nicely. It's hard to punish this aggression because you just don't have that core that goes, wow, I'm eventually going to outscale this hero, right?
That's true.
You don't have this Terrorblade Medusa style hero that buys the Manta Skadi and goes, ha, gotcha.
Now Liquid all over the map now.
Radiant's middle tower
Obviously with the Boots of Travel on Coddle and being able to TP that tier 2, quite helpful. And Mickey still working on the BKB for himself. As you can see, the Blink Dagger now on Marcy.
Yep, he was enjoying the game. He had Kaya. He was going to go for Kaya BKB, but realized that the game was a little bit more comfortable than expected. So he went for the Sanj Kaya, giving himself a bit more fight, a bit more tankiness, then getting the BKB. And once he gets both, it's going to be so hard.
Peter getting chased. The Orchid started this from Zai. Illuminate is there as well. You can see the teammates coming in. A nice tornado, EMP, but M.2's not going to be too scared with that Aegis in tow. They drop Skeeter very easily, but Lesh drops in the meantime inside that Wukong's command. And it looks like Marcy will be next. A double kill for 33, some much needed kills for Tundra. But M.2 again, can they deal with this disgusting creature of a pig? I don't think so. 33 getting chased, pops the little gargoyles. But again, Bristol, pretty good counter to that. A nice ice wall.
They've got to kite the raid
on perpetually. Not a whole lot of mana to work with from M.2. He's getting mana from afar though. Sunstrike not going to do much. 33 eventually drops. That is the slowest kill of all time. And M.2 just beating the absolute shit out of 9. Has to go in Viz. And just going to reset. I mean, with all these saves and heals coming out from Liquid on top of a hero like Bristol, it's just feels so hard to deal with.
He's also just really annoying. He's got the Fade Grenade as well, so he applies a nice little dot to it, plus the Goob, plus the Quill. Like, he's got so much shit he's just throwing in it. Yeah, this is the peak of Bristol right now, and he's thoroughly enjoying it. Don't forget the damage he does as well. Level 18, 3 points Warpath at minute 20.
Yeah, that is true.
It's like 478 it is right now. And ooh, okay.
And he's only 1,400 from AC now.
He had BKB and Quick Buy, but he's realized the game's kind of comfortable.
Yep, Soxa wants to try to find a pick-off, but instead will be picked off himself. As the damage is just overwhelming from Liquid.
This is actually really cool from Zai. He went for the Boots and Travel Orchid, then to Shard, TPing people around. Often these core Coddles go really greedy, but he's realizing that he's the hero moving around the map. He brings in the Oracle to save him or the Bristle to kill. Yeah, it's really nice stuff.
And he's back in the mid lane.
Just kill everything.
Finding another kill, this time on Snaking. 9k lead for Liquid as M.2 is knocking on the front door. He doesn't have a whole lot of mana, but again, still a minute 45 on the Aegis. And 1,400 away from a completed AC at 21 minutes. This is a very farm Bristleback, to say the least.
And the worrying thing for Tundra is the Invoker and CK, they're quick buy. The next items they're looking at are just double BKB. They're just trying to survive, and at this point in the game, you need to survive and potentially punish. And BKBs, you can kind of do that by baiting your opponent deeper, but...
Alright, trying to get rid of the Aegis. Looks like they'll do so.
Nice little freebie.
Tier 2 tower is going to drop with one more right click though. Soxa not going to go for the Wukong's command.
Wait, deny.
Still thinking about it. Not to be. Yeah, no more Aegis to work with, and that's going to turn into now a smoke for Tundra, who desperately need to find something in this game. And like you said, the BKB is coming online soon.
But let's just complete the BKB, so this smoke might actually just play against Tundra. But they kind of give it away because the creeps already hit the base with mid. So, kind of
he's going high ground. This could spell his doom inside the Wukong's command, but the dispose save! Mickey ends up popping the BKB, and that means Tundra has lost their advantage in this high ground fight. That would have been a huge pickoff, but Marcy, right place, right time.
God, it's so hard to play this game, actually. If you jump a call, there's either an Oracle saving or the Marcy saving. Really nice stuff there. Make it very optimistic, just running on in. I guess he wasn't ready for that smoke gank, but beautiful. Ooh. Look at that.
Yeah, that is nice. And now the AC completed on M.2. I mean, does Tundra even have a hero that can go for a break? I mean, Silver Edge, I guess, on CK? Is that like the best you can muster?
Later down the line, yeah. If we can fast forward the game 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And
he has to get his BKB first.
Yeah. He just completed the BKB, but now we want to see a Skadi, we want to see a Silver Edge, we probably need a Shivas as well, or maybe another hero. Like, there's so many items that Tundra need to feel comfortable in this game.
Uh-oh. Yep, that's the instant dispose after the blink, and Dazzle is done. 33. Ends up getting a couple stuns on M.2, which has been pretty much the only thing that has even remotely affected M.2 this game, it feels like. Then he chases he's getting stunned constantly, but they just don't do any damage.
I'm just looking at the minimap for Liquid. Just every time they find a kill, there's always one hero just instantly TPing back. They're not just waiting around, holding a high ground area. I've said it a lot, but it's just really fun to watch.
Yeah, the brawl heavy. I mean, it's funny because it doesn't feel like...
Oh, they're setting up on top.
Okay. Let's see if it works out. Invoker. Oh my god! Yeah. How is that enough damage? Jeez. 332 gold.
He took 2 right clicks for 340 and 1 blast for 530.
530 blast. Wow.
Like 1 click, 2 click, bam! Look at that. But that's again, that's the speed in which Liquid is playing. Every pickoff, they're on the other side of the map. But just again, look at the minimap. Tundra, they need to potentially punish this. Liquid is playing every quarter of the map right now.
Mickey.
But how do they kill a BKB Leshrac? Or a Bristleback?
Yeah.
They're miles away from being able to do it. Just look at the net worth disparity. Like Invoker, 8.4k. Invoker like stale games, but Matthew's kind of out on an island by himself.
He is inside that Wukong's command. They have enough damage to actually take him out. It's getting close. Looks like they'll be able to do so. No reinforcements for Liquid. That is a huge kill for Tundra.
They had to punish it. Like, of course, we see the perspective of everyone, so we know that Matthew's by himself, or at least they're playing every part of the map.
Yeah.
But Tundra, like, if you don't try and find the opportunity of greed on your opponent, you are just going to allow Liquid to build a 10k, 20k, 30k lead. So I like the fact that Tundra, they still go for it. They're not just going, guys, dodge the Bristle, he's too farmed. They are kind of seeing through Liquid's kind of play style.
Yeah, I think from Matu's perspective, probably a semi-bluff, right? Like, it feels like, oh, there's no way he's alone.
Yeah.
Kind of mentality.
And also for Matu, he's probably like, I bought AC, should be with my team. If you bought BKB, that plays like godly, right? Forcing 5 heroes onto him, BKB runs away, team probably TP's in. But because he's gone for the AC to be with the team, it does give an opportunity for Tundra to make that pick off.
Yeah, Box. Okay, Balance Strike not going to connect. Was going for Insania, the 2-for-1 special. Might not even get 1, though. So a little bit of miscue here from Tundra, who have looked extremely good this DPC season. And again, if they lose this game, then that's their first loss, and that means nobody's undefeated in
9. Oh, has to
Western
BKB
EU.
to run away.
Yeah, BKB from 9. Looks like he's fine. No basher yet from Boxy. Obviously, this is support, so probably won't see it.
You are right now.
He's queuing up the 8th lane. Not sure if he needs it, though, you know.
Yeah, the game is kind of
Doesn't feel
coded
like
to not need it. Yeah, that's true. This is where, like, next week they're like, whoops, the cast range was meant to be 100, but we actually it was 1,000. Whoopsie. Sorry. Just fell asleep at the keyboard there. Sorry,
like
boys.
that tiny patch note for TI that never happened, right? The doing too much damage.
Yeah. Oh, that was a good one. Yeah. Did you see the Darks when 7.31D came out? Like Darks' vacuum did like 10 damage to 100.
Yeah.
That was a good one too.
Yeah, it's just, you know, 1 digit off. It's good. It happens.
It does. Yeah, it's all right. So it's a beautiful game. Sometimes these things happen. Honestly, it just makes it way more enjoyable when this happens. You see that little petty Darks here player? Why is my vacuum not doing any damage? Like, that's your fault, freaking Darks here.
Yeah, that's true. Punish them.
Yep.
Punish the lyricals of the world that spam that hero.
Lyrical's too nice to punish.
Orchid, that's true. And 3-shot by Matu. And the tier 2 tower in the top lane will fall.
And now Matu's going to be way more happy with his AC pickup. He's with the team. He knows he can't die. He's got the AC for the minus armor on the towers, for the Leshrac. Yeah. Clubbing down the lanes.
Yep. And he is virtually unkillable.
And for the first time, Skidder's able to actually get to the enemy jungle, use his ultimate to skip 2 waves, kind of emulating the TBs and the Nagas. And that is going to cause some kind of frustration to Liquid. When they beeline it down 1 lane, if they aren't bringing another lane with them, it's going to get pushed out by the Invoker. It's going to like annoy the death ball a little bit. So that's why you see Liquid respecting what CK's done, reset back to their side of the map. And realistically, they want that second Aegis. This will be the Aegis where they start diving tier 3s.
Yep, I agree.
Thank you.
Matu with the full stacks on Warpath does 350 damage plus his base 150. That's 500 damage for each hit.
It's a lot of damage.
Now, the question is 25 towns. What do people go on this? Because I feel like getting 250 extra damage is kind of a lot.
Yeah, you got to go left side. You got to go for the Warpath damage.
That is a lot.
Back in the day when you were some Quill bot and...
Oh, they're
farewell,
going to find the Monkey King. Saksa. Oh, might be getting saved. No, there's no way. Matu, okay. Might not want to go high ground, though. Still respecting a bit. Shows his back to the high ground. As Mickey showing off that new Aghanim Scepter with Annihilism. Just taking out the gargoyles.
God, how annoying is that actually? Leshrac Bristle together. Bristle stands and hugs his Leshrac. Leshrac uses Ags for Nihilism, so then you can't right-click the Bristle. So if there was a Silver Edge in the game, this Leshrac just needs to go Ags Blink, jump on top of the Bristle when the Silver Edge break comes out, and then you can never utilize the break correctly.
Yeah, that's true.
It's kind of a powerful combination, in theory. And then you got the Cuddle with the Bristle combo, the Oracle enabling either of them. Yeah, this is it's a really annoying lineup if you're behind, just because there's so many things you need to tick. Did we lock down Oracle? Have we broke this Bristleback? Have we run out the mana of Leshrac? And that just went down in, wow.
And now he's got a hairball. Well, he will in a moment when he consumes the shard. So that's going to get his stacks up even faster. And obviously, like we talked about, the next power spike for him is level 25, which I don't even know if we're going to get to at this stage, because they can just go high ground now. Paladin Sword, is he actually going to hold that? Yeah, it looks like it. So he's going to get a little spell lifesteal and physical lifesteal. Very, very strong is MATU now, finishing off the tier 3.
You have to treat the Bristle kind of like a Medusa, right? Kill everyone else and then hope to kill Bristleback last.
Yes, the mana burn is there. Triple Meteor comes in into the Reality Rift. MATU is getting somewhat low, but again, still has that Aegis to work with. Now everybody just running away from the Wukong's command, and Liquid just going to reset.
One saving grace for Tundra is if they can hold out this game for long enough, CK is one of the few heroes that turns Bristleback around. So if they survive this push, maybe later on they can utilize that. But for now, it's all Liquid as they move into the high ground.
Alacrity on the gargoyle looks hilarious, actually. It's like, where do we put the particle? I'm not sure. McKay, okay, he's going to potentially drop here from 100 to 0 instantly, getting absolutely punished. And that's with a Will-O-Wisp from the defensive side. I can't believe they actually got away with that. But Tundra, see if they can get any more, because that's not going to be enough to turn the game, because the Aegis still has quite a bit of time left.
They still need to respect the Bristleback, but yeah, just over-aggression from the Leshrac there. You walk up into the high ground, you get clipped by the Chaos Bolt, you don't get the BKB off, layered stun, you blow up, you don't really have any of your damage spells running anyway, so yeah, just Liquid getting a little bit too comfortable with the lead that they have, and they give a lifeline to Tundra.
MATU gets the regen instantly canceled though. And Tundra trying to take advantage of the numbers here to try to get rid of this Aegis. The triple meteor comes in. False promise applied to Zai. Looks like Marcy's going to want to actually focus. Soul Assumption. Oh, Sunstrike did not connect as Boxy looks to be running away. And MATU creating as much space as possible. Gets the hairball off. Will-O-Wisp slowing things as well. BKB already popped by MATU. And Tundra not really able to find too much. But are getting a little bit more map control back.
Kind of forcing themselves into this aggressive position. The key thing is, how does Liquid react to this? You've had Tundra kind of run at you due to a Leshrac pickoff. But Tundra, they can't get too excited by this because they were able to be aggressive due to a tier 3 defense in which they picked off a Leshrac. Those opportunities don't come out in open ground. Like, you still need to set up the same thing again to be able to have any aggression. So Tundra, they're going to posture together, but realistically, Liquid will just beeline back towards this top racks. And in the back of their minds, they're like, all right, let's not send the Leshrac up, or at least if you are going to go up to high ground, be ready with your BKB, Marcy and Oracle, and be a little bit closer. So they're just going to kind of calibrate their high ground siege, rather than just change up their game plan entirely. And this Blink Dagger from Skid is kind of paying off a little bit. Just being able to jump the Oracle of Marcy.
And he's split pushing right now with that shard. It definitely helps.
I mean, this is Tundra 101, right? Just every time they're behind, they're finding ways to get the lanes pushed out. Be it the Invoker top, the Monkey King, CK Illusions. They always have elements of prolonging the game.
They've had a lot of practice playing behind this series, I'll tell you what.
All right, Liquid, they don't want to play this game any longer. They got 5-man smoke cutting across the map.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to find anybody, as the Will-O-Wisp is going to be activated, and if they can get 33, this is a really big kill. It looks like it's going to be quite an easy one. The Grave delays it. Oh, gets 4-staff, trying to TP out. Will be successful, though. Very nicely done. It's going to cost them snaking. No buyback for him.
But again, look at the waves. They finally kill off a Dazzle, but mid's already pushed in. Top and bot, nearly towards Dire's side. Liquid aren't able to convert the Death Ball into objectives.
Yeah. Very smart play from Tundra.
But now you have the mid wave. 30 seconds, no Dazzle.
Yep, Tornado. Ice Wall to try to slow this a bit. Not sure if they actually want to commit on the Bristle. Again, it's all delayed tactics, but with that wave, MATU can at least poke in the top lane. Gets that range racked. Sunstrike starting to do a decent amount of damage now. Again, without the Dazzle for another 8 seconds, they might just give up this Rax, but there's a Will-O-Wisp catching Saksa.
Nice.
4-second stun, though. Definitely Blast to follow. Looks like Soxa falls regardless.
But Liquid, they have to be respectful. Aegis out in 3 seconds. B could be on cooldown for 30.
Yeah.
If he had the BKB, he could look for the racks, but...
Okay. Game has extended.
To the next Roshan. Yep, for
Perhaps.
sure. Unless Tundra just beeline it into Liquid and die. Yeah, this game might last another 10-15 minutes.
Oh, 33. Spots Mickey. Or is it the other way around? Zai is so freaking fast. Actually bringing in a teammate, but there's a Phantasm. Nice BKB from Mickey. Gonna dodge that Chaos Strike. And Skeeter attempting to TP out. Will be fine, but it doesn't look like 33 will find the same fate.
And now the wave's in a good spot for Liquid.
Oh, we have a Marcy Shard. So Boxy apparently knows how to use
Yeah, he likes it, yeah. I was thinking if there was going to be a point in the game where Boxy will, like, deliver the shard as Marcy to Saxo.
That's hilarious. All right, well, with this opening 50 seconds of no Visage, and 9, again, just trying to split push, will be successful in that lane. But they have to worry about the mid lane now. As Matu.
Oh, DK's just going down.
We have the bash coming out. Skeeter is graved, but he's not going to be long for this world. Let's see if he has buyback or not. Getting quite low. Does have buyback. We'll have to expend it, I would think. Wukong's command.
It's not really.
Matu is just sitting in it and killing the racks. Not really giving any craps about it at all. And it's going to go for the top lane instead. Looking for the high 5, but
back
will
to
not
mid
be
on that.
reciprocated.
Well, the thing is, yeah, Liquid, super powerful. They found a key kill on Visage, and now they get to just reap the rewards.
Yeah. CK will have to buy back, I think, if they fight with Visage, who's back in 5 seconds, but they've already given up 2 racks now. So Liquid thinking that perhaps CK does not have buyback, but here it is. Finally used. Soxa instantly deleted, but he does have buyback as well. And now the disengage from Liquid.
But Liquid have the outpost control, so if Tundra try and chase this, Liquid can still buy back and TP close into the fight. Tundra, they have to respect this.
33 with the Agnum Scepter, able to walk wherever the hell he wants.
Top lane and mid lane are pushing in. Liquid well aware that Tundra's half chasing right now.
Yeah, and the lead has doubled in the last couple minutes now, thanks to these little mini engagements turning into double racks now. Advantage for Liquid.
Yeah, unfortunately for Tundra.
What was this? Is this the, that's the shard?
That's the shard, yeah.
Okay.
So he jumps onto the bristle to then throw the bristle deeper, and that's how the shard works, yeah. That's what Saxo didn't want to use in the previous game.
Yep, I think I understand how it works now, Tigo, thanks. So it gives Marcy 2 saves. It's just weird. I don't think that's necessary, but...
Yeah, the hero is already pretty good. I was saying this the other day, like, Marcy's actually in a really nice spot, I think. I think you could maybe argue that Dispose probably could get fine-tuned a little bit to not be so good. But other than that, like, it just feels decent. Mainly as a support. I think the core is still trying to be found.
It's been hotly contested, so...
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, when I see a Marcy, other than the move speed on the second spell, the removement of the first spell, the lifesteal on the third spell, and the quick punch on the ult, like, I kind of like where it's at.
Yeah.
You agree with me?
I think I can be on board. What you're saying is, outside a complete redesign, you are fine with this hero.
Perfectly fine.
Okay, good.
Yes.
Good.
Tundra need to redesign a way to defend their base because Liquid coming for that final racks.
Yeah, one more right click. No more tier 3s are standing. Orchid not really going to sway Matu from getting away. Chaos Strike, but his back is turned. No Aegis, but 33 trying to backstab, but he is going to get turned around on and dropped immediately. Matu pops that BKB, gets the bash, trying to take out Skeeter. Nice grave though. Matu, he's false promised. How much damage have they done? Not much. He's full HP again. And, all right. They might find the Marcy, though. But, again, this is going to be mega creeps. Just a couple more right clicks from Matu are enough to ensure this likely will go the way of Team Liquid. A big Illuminate comes out. Matu can just dive the fountain if he wants. He's doing just that. Oh, has to be careful, though. It does more damage over time. Triple kill, ultra kill for Matu. He wants the Rampage. Into the base he goes. Rampage, Mr. Matu. Very happy about that. Not happy enough to shave that mustache, though. Dear God, get that off the screen.
He's a handsome.
Game
what are you on about?
3 goes the way
How dare you.
of Team Liquid. And this was probably the most... I know that the first game, the kills were in their favor, but this was the most convincing victory, I think, of the series.
Yeah, I mean, I really enjoyed this draft. Like, when we entered this game, and you see just the matchups that they have, Flesh to CK, Bristle to Visage, as long as Liquid play the map correctly, running around, sweeping it through, not allowing Tundra to skip waves, they will eventually get to the kind of boiling point where they'll overwhelm Tundra with the damage that they have. And I just really enjoyed how they used offlane Coddle. We haven't seen too much core Coddle, and I think just really good stuff from Liquid. Just, I like the aggressive playstyle. It can be punished like we saw in Game 2, but if you are able to just play flawlessly or at least have some fail safes, it's really good Dota to watch. And yeah, nice stuff.
13-2 from M.2 on the bristleback. He had himself a really disgusting game. Speaking of disgusting, let's get away from me and go to the panel.
Oh, that was a close one. I thought he was gonna say it about me, but he's a self-deprecating man, and Liquid may be a self-deprecating team because they lose against Goon Squad. Everyone immediately writes them off. Everyone's like, oh, okay, they bombed out at Stockholm Major. They lost against Goon Squad. They're washed. Then they come back and they beat Tundra Lacoste. What were we thinking this whole time?
We were thinking that Carry Pudge is not good after that performance from
I still
them.
Think that.
Yeah, we still think everyone thinks that, but we'll see how the teams feel about it. This is the type of a draft that Liquid does execute well. They know how to play with Bristleback, most definitely. They know how to stack. Very easy for them to play it, get those stacks going, hit the certain timings, get the Roche. I feel like Zai on the offlane Keeper of the Light was pretty impressive with the recall. Also, this Orchid did a ton of work to be able to shut down like blinding lights against the Monkey King, against Dazzle to push him back when they're trying to focus the target, or just the silence on Dazzle, and also recall. So like they didn't get to play the game. With Boots of Travel, he's all over the place.
Yeah, he was straight DHL delivering people all over the map. What were your takeaways from that series, Waga?
I mean, for me, I would just say that I think now I've seen it 3 games here in this Western European DPC, Visage against Bristle, and twice I've seen Visage picked into Bristle. It doesn't work well. It's so like impossible to play, and Matumba he had to free his time. He ran around and did whatever he wanted. I think, honestly, this game was quite decided by draft. Obviously, there's some room for play, but I think if Liquid played solid, they're gonna, get stuff done.
Yeah, and they might be getting a journey over to the Major at this rate because they've taken down probably one of the frontrunners that maybe people were considering in this Division 1. Because let's take a look at the standings. Tundra were formerly undefeated, and now they are 3-1. No one in Western Europe is undefeated now, as Entity earlier today claimed their victory against Secret, but it's looking quite well. We have 4 teams that are 3-1 right now, actually.
It smells like a lot of potential tiebreakers as well here on the bottom. So, yeah, Entity doing extremely good. People, didn't probably expect that, but they're the dark horse pretty much of this DPC tour, I would say.
It's not so unexpected, though. Last season, they took a game of every single team. They just ended up losing, 1-2 against pretty much everyone. Not everyone. They did stay